What is happening? What is happening? Welcome to the best, better playoffs second week. This is Kiprios.
And this is Jimmy the Bag. This is very, very exciting. We have March Madness action. I had a 8-game NCAA winning streak that came to a halt with Arkansas -5. They won by 4. Then I opened the day with a loss from Delaware, but just cashed Notre Dame easily. Now I know Quinterly went down with an injury, so I shouldn't gloat about the bet, but have him on my brackets and picked up a quick 136.36 profit. And I'm pumped up. Best better second week of the playoffs. How you doing tonight?
Bro, I'm very excited. It's so funny. I get because it's so sharp and it's so quick. Like I almost forget, and it's short, man. Like I forget how intense and how much fun this tournament is. It truly is one of the best sporting events that I look forward to every year. And honestly, if I followed college basketball during their regular season, I think that might be it. If that might be it for the relationship. And it's almost something that I just love to get reacquainted with. It's like having a good friend that you haven't seen for a year or whatever, and you see them and you pick up right where you left off. Like my passion and intensity for this tournament has never subsided since I was a kid. I just love it. So I'm stoked, man. I'm stoked. And LSU as a kid was the team that I really got behind. So it's going to be fun to see how they're going to be dealing with the turmoil and see how they come out in the first game.
So much fun.
How you feeling?
So much fun. We have I'm excited. I'm pumped up. Capping is such a cruel mistress, and I get on this streak in college basketball, and it helps enormously because I'm heading down to San Antonio for a couple weeks of just hardcore gambling action, and I want a bigger bankroll. And I go on this 8-game winning streak, and then I'm only in 2 brackets at $50 a pop, but my mom's in one of them against me. Like there's all the friends in it, and I've got Kentucky to win it all in those 2 brackets. Now I didn't bet them and I didn't put any futures on them, but of course during this giant winning streak, last night I'm sitting there, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? The Peacocks? The fucking Peacocks are gonna do me like this. And I switched from Kansas to Kentucky. That's why I had meeting in the finals. I switched from Kansas to Kentucky, and so that was tough. You got brackets this year?
Come on, every year. And one is like the dudes that I played high school basketball with. We do one that is a no money one intentionally because of the compete level on everybody. And I know that doesn't make sense to you, but I think it would just be fists. And that one is great. That one's a lot of fun. And then I'm in another one, which actually Wes has one. Our buddy Jimmy and I got a mutual buddy. What's up, Wes? If you're watching, and he puts one in. Same thing, $50. Last year I was on my face. I mean, everybody's kind of scourged with the pandy, and man, I came out with the Baylor win last year and had them over Gonzaga, and I had a couple of good upsets. So this year I'm playing with house money. I made close to $1,350. And again, like I was on my face, but I went out and bought myself a beautiful, like chef's kiss Weber barbecue, which is called the Babecue because it's the Baylor Baydays Baylor barbecue, and it's an absolutely it's my pride and joy. I've got my girls in my house and then the barbecue, and the barbecue probably loves me the most.
That's good. That's good because all of my winnings goes right back into my bankroll. Kip, I buy nothing. I buy zilch. I want bigger units. No, I want to bet more money. Jimmy. And whenever I pick stakes. I hear you, but let's say I pick up 2,500, quick 2,500. You know who knows about it? Not my wife. She doesn't know shit. She's not getting a new barbecue. She is never going to hear a word of this. It's all about my cash flow. Sox, Bulls, Bears, 2-3-5-4 is on TCU. Now, our game's going to pop off, at least it's scheduled to pop off in 14 minutes here, Iowa State, LSU, and we'd like to break that game down. We'd also like to go over what the best bettors have done on this showcase game. But I think it's also important, we're always going to talk about gambling strategy and how you succeed, how you succeed in the long-term gambling. And one thing that happens is when you start losing, you start reaching. You start betting more. You risk more. You start maybe making parlays. You do whatever you can to catch up. And it's a problem. And when you start winning, you start being sharp with all of your decisions and your action. And I have a perfect example of it today. I hit 8 straight until Arkansas, and my whole plan was to bet Loyola Chicago. My whole plan. But 76% of the tickets were on Loyola Chicago because everybody has a vividness bias of what they've done with Sister Jean, 103 years old and silent. Everybody has this bias, and we all do. I know it's in my head. And 24% of the cash, 76% of tickets, 24% of the cash on Loyola Chicago. And there's an idea that on sides, we will have extra money being bet just from graduates of that school, and not to get too caught up in it. But that was just too much. That was too much. All these huge bets coming in Ohio State. And look, I'm winning right now, and I don't need to. So I was like, look, I must be on the wrong side here. I must be on the wrong side. And some of these teams in the big conferences, like the Big Ten, can flip the switch and turn it on, even if they've come in struggling. And I stayed off of it, and I saved that money. In saying that, I'm still just 1-1 on the day, cashed with Notre Dame, lost with Delaware. Very quickly, I don't have a ton of. I found this card extremely difficult, and I have not made a bet even on this game yet. I'm planning on live betting this game when the only thing I have left now is Davidson. That's it. Davidson over Michigan State, Moneyline. It's my only college basketball. I have a ton of NBA action, a ton of NHL action, but that's my only spot right there. So let's break down and talk about what the best bettors are doing this week. But I think it's paramount and probably important for us to talk about this game, Kip. And it is.
Yeah, well, you and I, we talked about it earlier. I mean, we're both a little bit gun shy on this one. Last week we were like, okay, every week we're going to do a parlay bet, 4 legs together. You choose 2, I choose 2. And then, we got into the studio a little bit early, and you and I were both kind of, because I initially was quite high on LSU until I did a little bit of research, and with the coaching change and how they're kind of limping into the tournament, I was a little bit afraid. And their field goal percentage on both of them scared me. Now everybody's banging the under because both of these teams are defensive, and like the edge, when you look at it, those grimy, gritty stats like steals, rebounds, goes LSU's way. But that's always, it's scary to, it's scary. It's scary when like the book is out on a team being a good defensive team, especially when because we're like, the under was at 129 when we just looked at it, I think. Is that right? Is it still at 129?
It is at 129. And, we should talk about all of this. But the biggest thing that's gone on here with LSU is Will Wade being fired, and what that's done, to this basketball team. So that's the biggest story. And I can't tell you exactly what it's done, but that the coaching change at the helm is a big issue that's kind of clouding on this game. Sox, Bulls, Bears 2354 wants to talk about Wisconsin. Look on Wisconsin minus 7.5, and we will get there. But let's talk about the market in this game. It has LSU sitting at -4, and that hasn't changed.
No.
We've been waiting for something to change, and it hasn't changed. It has just been sitting there. LSU -4, and these Tigers 22-11 this year. They opened up the SEC with that 76-68 win over Missouri. It was okay. Missouri was not an impressive squad. And then they lose to 79-67 to Arkansas in the quarters, which, Arkansas Razorbacks, I have them to make the Final Four. By the way, as we're talking right now, and we're going to be live betting all over the place, Chattanooga's up 15-4.
I'm all over Illinois everywhere. Sox, Bulls, Bears also on LSU -4. That gives me some encouragement.
Sure. Added confidence. Sure.
That gives me a little bit of encouragement. So, that's what I wanted initially, but Dennis Garcia in the building. What's up, Dennis?
Nice. Dennis Garcia.
I heard you hit a monster, Dennis. Congratulations, brother. Jimmy, walk me through what Dennis hit.
Well, Dennis is a pro and spectacular. I've had the pleasure of working with him for a few years now. I guess we're going on 5 years, and God, he's good. So he was on Richmond Moneyline with enormous confidence. Look, I took Richmond plus 10 after, knowing that Dennis was on the money line. I mean, obviously that helps me. But it's one thing when you're like, I'll sprinkle a little bit on the money line. He didn't say that. He said Richmond money line in the under.
Wow.
That was his bet. I mean, yeah, he's just like, he's a very skilled handicapper, and I love having him here in our chat. And I would love to hear, Dennis, what you're doing with LSU Iowa State, because I've not made a pregame bet. I found it very difficult. Let's talk about this total, Kip.
Yep.
It opened at Pinnacle, whom I believe. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. We're not supposed to. My bad here. But it opened at a book that I think is a market indicator. It opened at 125 and is all the way up to 129.5. 4.5 point movement. 4.5 point movement here on this total. That's a huge move. That's an enormous move to the over. This market indicating book moves at 4.5 points. So let's go over to the cash. Let's see if the cash follows suit so that we know that, this all makes sense. And it doesn't. Oh, wait. Jesus, it does. It does. Okay, so listen to this. There's 69,642 tickets in, 49% of the tickets, and 96% of the cash is on the over.
Wow.
And it's moved up 4.5 points. And sometimes that number will drop because the professional bettors who got in on the over 125 will, leverage and put in 60% or 70% of their cash then on the under and try to get a middle or, lessen their risk. That hasn't happened at this point. When you hear that 96% of the cash, it's a public tickets is a coin flip, and 96% of the cash is on the under. Does that scare you? Make you uncomfortable?
Yeah, it makes me a little uncomfortable. I don't know if scare is the right word. But yeah, I mean, I do love it. But I also wonder, like, when the money comes in, if some of the money is coming in from, like one person is coming in very hot and heavy on it.
It can't be. There's 70,000 tickets in. 70,000.
Right. But I mean, you could still have a couple of belugas that can make big market moves. I don't know. I'm even at 129. I'm liking the under still. Dennis is on the first half under 60, LSU -4. I think that's a pretty fun little ride along. What are you getting for first half right now, Jimmy?
Let's see. We are 6 minutes, we believe, before tip off. The same as Dennis, 60 at a pick'em.
I'm coming along, Dennis.
Oh, you're coming along. I just need Dennis to know that I did move on the laugh out loud Lakers first quarter plus 3.5, first half plus 5.5. When every single person told me I was making a terrible, terrible mistake. Dennis, I did do that. Okay, so let's talk about what our best bettors have done. And a lot has changed in the last week. The main thing that has changed is that Bridget Case's enormous lead has dwindled. She's coming off a very rough week, and she's seen her lead dissipate.
Well, I look at who is in the weeds and moving up right now.
Yes.
Is Tiffany Michelle, who you have to win this entire competition. And now she's in striking distance to the prize. And she looked at this again. This is a professional poker player that looked at this as a marathon and not a sprint. She didn't, even with the bets now. So right now in the playoffs, there's 4 bets that everybody has to make, and there's 10% of their entire bankroll that has to go on those 4 bets, plus a mandatory in-game bet of just $50. Tiffany Michelle, during the first couple of weeks of competition, when those figures were not in place, where there were minimums, but they weren't going to take you out and force you, she played conservatively. And Jimmy and you and I have talked about this ad nauseum, is that this is a competition between 5 people playing for cash and paying for bragging rights, really, at the end of the day. And some of these bettors initially were like, it was daily fantasy. So I think Tiffany has shown incredibly. And David Tuchman, who we both thought 3 weeks ago might be on a cakewalk to this competition, he finds himself in the basement. But anyhow, we can start with Bridget. Look at
it's
what do you
important
think
that
of Bridget's action?
let me tag that just before we do.
Yeah.
Because Dennis is going to come along on the Lakers. I love tailing Dennis. I get very nervous when he tails me. By the way, Dennis also got us on the Flames to win the division at plus 210. They're minus 1,100 now. Kip,
oh, yeah. You guys got that before the trade. I love that.
Well, we got it before the winning streak. We got like game 3 of that 9-game winning streak. But the average bet, and I track all these stats, of course, with all of their capers. For David Tuchman, who's had 2 real rough weeks, his average bet's $107.69. His average bet in this contest. And Tiffany Michelle's average bet, the lowest in this contest, $60.81 is her average bet. Tuchman's almost double, and I knew that the long play would work for Tiffany Michelle. I just knew it. You don't come 17th in the World Series of Poker without being able to, without understanding that it's the long play. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So I've been very impressed with her. But you're right. Let's get it started because we're a few minutes from tip off here. Let's start with Bridget Case, our leader, and discuss her action. So also, I'd like to pull it up right here. And then I've got to make sure that we are in business for this game and have it on the right channel. So I will worry about that here in a second. Sorry, let me just get this up.
Yeah, there is a chance that we're going to be looking for this stream. But I think we're going to be good.
I think we're going to be good. Let's take a look at Bridget Case's action, our leader right now. Our leader has an under 122.5 New Mexico State UConn. And I'd have to double check that, but that was the New Mexico State upset. I think that's got to have come through. And Kansas minus 20. Oh my! I gotta look up her parlay. That's such a huge parlay. And it's already in the books. She cashed with Purdue. She lost with UCLA, and she is also on the under 128.5. Bridget Case, our leader, is also on that under that you so speak of. I'm gonna look up her big NCAA parlay. But what do you think of her action on the under? Does that add confidence to you? Oh, and when I say I get scared when I see a market move, and you say, well, I don't want to use it. I don't think I understand that. I do legitimately get scared. I get frightened.
I believe that. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of that. This is life or death. Yeah, I like that she's on it as well. Again, Bridget, she's worked CBS, NBC, NFL. She was a cheerleader for the Chargers, so her bread and butter was NFL. But she also in college went, I think she was Oregon State. I think she was a Duck, and she from there, like her Twitch, all she's doing right now is talking about college basketball, and she's bet college. She's had some bad luck, so I kind of like her acumen with college. And yeah, again, Dennis is on it. I'm on it. Bridget's on the under. I love it. Now watch it just get blown out. Get absolutely blown out.
She did not hit that giant parlay. I'll pop it back up. New Mexico State wrecked shop, and UConn with their strong defense, shocking. UConn only put up 63 points. If I had told Bridget UConn scores 63 points, do you think that you cash your under 122.5? She'd be like, oh, I cashed it for sure. But UConn was upset. New Mexico State cashed for 70 points himself. So that $450 parlay was a loser. So she's in grave danger. She cashes Purdue, but she's down. She's down a little over $500 coming into this game. So you know who's winning the best better right now, Kip?
No,
Tiffany Michelle is in first place in the best better right now.
Should have known by the way you sold that there was an angle where I was losing money at the answer of it. Like that I was just going to be another punchline to one of your jokes, Jimmy. I should have known that.
I'm very serious when it comes to gambling. Okay. It's almost tip off. By the way, we have Illinois. So I could have got Illinois at minus 115. Now I can get Illinois at plus 150 on the money line. Are you kidding me? Let's get these games on right now. So
at a Newgate, Illinois right now, and Illinois looks scared. Sometimes like I don't know if it's just a mental thing, but when you watch this tournament, that favorites play kind of scared. Scared money don't make money, my friends. But it just feels that way. And then they relax and get going and shots start to drop. But, right now I've been watching this Chattanooga, Illinois while we've been watching, and Illinois does not look comfortable in this game at all. Chattanooga's pressing them. It's really good. Okay, but let's see if we can't get our game.
Coburn's a monster. Let's talk Tiffany Michelle.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Look at all these offensive rebounds. Let's bring up how do you not bet Illinois at plus 150 right now? Now it's 165. Okay, well, I'm going to sit here and wait and watch this game because I do have a rule. If you don't watch it, you don't live bet it. So Tiffany Michelle is now in first place in this best better contest, and she's down $336. So not a good sign for our best bettors that is the situation. Let's discuss her action right now.
I got it. It's up.
Okay, so Tiffany Michelle, she has EPL action and she has Valspar Championship action. And I tried to look up before the show, but it was taking me too long to look up her round 1 3 balls action. That's a huge parlay she has in place, but she's on LSU Moneyline at minus 190. In all honesty, she's focusing on what she's best at. That's what, that's why I believed in her, is just that she understands the strategic. She's not putting herself in an uncomfortable situation ever. She's always in control. And so she only bet $117 in any sport that requires a basketball or a hockey puck in March. She's just an impressive gambler across the board. She knows exactly how to handle situations.
She won some money in poker. She was in a poker tournament a couple of weeks ago. She hadn't played this year. I don't think she played much last year, but she was posting on her Instagram, and man, she's slick, man. She's slick. I don't know how much deeper that she wants to go in the game, but
plus 175, and now it's off the board. I'm gonna move right now.
Are you coming in on Illinois?
Yeah, I'm taking Illinois. It's just $50 which is my live bet. I'm $50 at plus 150. Chattanooga just had an injury. This team, if you're talking depth, okay, it's in. I'm in.
Beautiful.
Okay, so my first live bet is in. Coburn's going to take over the game. Oh, come on, Coburn. Hit that. Okay, so Tiffany Michelle is on LSU here. And let's move over and see if we get this. Oh, no, that's the wrong channel. Let's see if we get this LSU game on this channel. And that's got Cal Fullerton Duke. Okay. But this LSU game hasn't started yet. Oh, they just pushed it back.
Oh, okay. Until?
We spoke about this possibly happening. They've pushed it back now till 7:57. So it's being pushed back for 32 more minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, yeah, I'm comfortable with that.
Into this Illinois Chattanooga game.
Exactly. Let's get into Illinois Chattanooga, and my whole bet is reliant upon Coburn.
Who is just coming out of the game.
It's not because of foul trouble. It's because he's tired, right?
I'm just saying he's out of the game. I didn't say anything about his foul trouble. He's massive, dude. Coburn is an absolute specimen.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Got that big ass on him. Most important thing in sports.
Man, I'm going to bring
most important thing in more than sports, but it also helps in sports.
Hell yeah. 1 second.
Oh, this is a winning bet I just made. I should have bet more on it. Why didn't I hammer that? Look up, put it in, and one. Shabam. God, why did I not bet more on this? Why is my... It's already down to plus 100. Like that. All right, whatever. Let's not...
A game of runs. Man, I like Illinois. I want to bring up one of my brackies here. So you're in two big boys. You one with the fam and then one with the homies.
one with the Raw Mike Richards show here in Toronto, radio show, sponsored by my man Nilo Nelson Lourenco, and then one with Pub Sports Radio. Yeah, so two, but my mom's in the Pub Sports Radio bracket. Okay, so you'll bring up your bracket. While you're bringing up your bracket, what has happened over the last, and look, let's just look at Bridget one more time. A $450 parlay when you're in first place.
Unnecessary.
A terrible, terrible blunder. And I tell you, it's a blunder that Tiffany Michelle would never make. No. Now, does Tiffany Michelle have the skill set to hit a 4-team parlay like Bridget Case did last week? Maybe you could say no, she doesn't. They're very, very different gamblers. But you know what we've seen is they have risen to the top. At this point, they're the two best gamblers that we have at this point in the contest, and we have 2 weeks left after this. I think they're the two best gamblers.
Lest we forget, Bridget tried to play some dirty pool on her massive parlay that hit.
Yeah, she did.
She was sitting at, you know that when you've got you see the dealer's weak in blackjack and you're sneaking a couple of chips underneath your original stake. Bridget was trying to bet more money than she had, and that money was on. That's how confident she was about that. And I think that was her original number, was $450. So Bridget and that number in parlays seemed to be hanging around, but we caught her. We caught young Bridge trying to play a little bit of dirty pool. She wasn't removed from the casino, but she did get a very, very stern talking to and sitting down. Sox, Bulls, Bears, Chattanooga falls apart. He's from Illinois. Chattanooga has been his team this year. I think second half falls apart. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Sox, Bulls, Bears in the building. How would you ever guess that he was from Illinois?
Well, so what has happened is Bridget Case has lost $576, I believe, last week. Let's take another look at she lost $576 last week, and right now she's down another $500. So this best better is wide open. And Jimmy,
we're getting to the conclusion here. Like this is kind of like, I don't know. I think the last week there's going to be, depending. I mean, shoot, there could be bettors going home right now. If Jon Orlando, David Tuchman is going to have every single dollar that he's got left will be in play this weekend. So if he actually doesn't cash a bet, that's it. That's it for Tuchman. So there, depending on how big the spread is, and this is really what I wanted to see for the last week. I just thought the drama of having and then you're forced right now. Bridget Case isn't forced to make massive bets, massive parlay combined bets. She's not forced to. And even Tuchman having, he's bring up the stats that everybody's got for me again, Jimmy.
I will. But before I do, I'd like to give a shout out to Connor Mack Picks. He hosts a very popular NCAA basketball show called Net Profits, and stopping by to say what up. C-Mac, you're a monster, my friend, and thank you for stopping by. Spectacular capper right there. C-Mac,
what up, Connor? Peace.
Yes, let's bring up the records right now.
Yeah. Show me the bankrolls.
There you go,
my man. So he's got a third of what she has, and he's got 3 betting weeks to make it back. So I don't know. And the other thing is Bridget's playing with these players certainly aren't doing what I would do in their positions. And position in this is almost as important as it is in poker. When you're playing it, you kind of need to know where you're at and where your goal is, what you're going to do with that bankroll. And yet Tuchman should be gripping the stick a little bit tighter right now. But, a couple of singles, it's going to be week 3 and week 4 where now you're forced into, I got to win it all, and then that's when you have to take some shots. But Bridge doesn't need to take a shot here. And I don't think that Tux has to put every single dime that he's got on the table this week.
Well, it's exactly what we've been talking about. And this is the first season of Best Better.
Yeah.
Second season is going to be coming up. We're always going to be talking about gambling strategy. And a big thank you to Sox's Bulls Bears 2354 for the love and respect, man. It means a ton to us. But this is a huge thing that happens, and he got down on himself. He was extremely confident. He took it right in the heart of the khakis, and it hurt him because it was his bread and butter NHL. And then it happened again the second week, and he just kind of checked out. And it's funny because he should be more, or not, he should still have confidence, because this whole angle was these other cappers, they don't know what they're doing. That was his whole angle, right, Kip? His whole angle the whole time was like, look at these guys. I'm going to win this. How could I not win this? Look at that, and he should have kept that going, because the fact that he let that go.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, my friend. He came into the playoffs. He had been on an incredible streak. In the first 5 weeks, he was on top 3 of those 5 weeks. When the Governors came off in the playoffs, you got yourself a little bit of a game here. When the Governors came off in the playoffs, he went psycho and he got crushed. And then he assured us it happens, it doesn't get a couple of times a year. But then it happened next week. You went 0 for 10 in his bets, Jimmy.
He said 4 or 5 times a year. I was the one who said once or twice a year. I was like, no, that was once or twice a year. But look at this. Can you believe I just got Illinois at plus 150? Are you kidding me? Well, but why didn't I drop the hammer? Why am I sticking at this $50 a unit live bet? That was the time to drop the hammer. At least I didn't take them plus 3.5 or 4.5. At least I knew enough for that. But it's important what we're talking about right now. It's very important. And there's only been one capper who's displayed the kind of, I don't know. It's not conservative, because conservative is not. She's just stuck to her guns. She's never. There's never been 1 second, even when she's had losing weeks, where you thought, "Oh, she's buckling," or "Oh, she's," because you could say after Bridget took the lead and picked up the $1,000 as the winner of the regular season, that she couldn't handle. I think she's a very talented capper, and she's very good at college basketball and NFL. And I think she has a bright future handicapping. But the moves she's made since she had this big lead, you would never see Tiffany Michelle make those moves. She would have been even more conservative. She would have said, "I'm up $1,000. I'll bet the minimum." Don't you think?
I 100% agree. I absolutely agree. The beautiful thing about the playoffs, though, is the leveling ground is, yes, you can be conservative. You but only to a point. So 40% of your bankroll is going out. So but that being said, even with 40% of your bankroll going out, you could at least give yourself a chance to increase your bankroll sparingly. It almost seems as though, like we saw last week, Jimmy, who loses the least can be the most successful. And if you're on top, I could not see Tiffany going for big scores. I thought that Bob was going to, I've actually quite liked Bob's action the last couple of weeks. Bob is, he seemed to have picked this up quite quickly. He came out and saying, he said he wasn't an expert in this field, and he proved those colors correct in the first week, where he lost as much money as he could possibly lose. Bob lost it all, and it wasn't even on, like they were ridiculous. Then Bob got on his face, and he caught the biggest Betty White that we've had. We call it Betty White, whoever gets the biggest percentage yield. He had a plus 1,400 when Mixon threw a touchdown. So a non-QB throws a touchdown that got him back up, and he started playing a little bit smarter. Now he's gone from first to third, so he's sliding down. But I do think that he's seeing the game better. He's seeing what the intention of this game is. He's seeing a little bit better strategy Whereas, Bridge with that big $450 parlay, unnecessary, greedy, hubris, it can take you down. And she also had a shitty week last week too. So you're putting bad money on top of more bad money, or you're putting good money on top of bad money is what I'm saying, So
yeah.
And to your point, you're on an 8-game, you came out very hot. You're seeing it better, you're sharper, and that there's nothing harder. Those paws are going to leak even more when you're in a cold streak. You will not know where to go. You don't know where to turn.
You start reaching and risking, and I tightened up the ship. I hit 8-3. I started tightening up the ship, and I got off of Loyola Chicago. I didn't sit there thinking, "Oh, I'm better than everybody. I'm smarter than everybody." I thought, "No, I've got a bias in here from Sister Jean and all the vividness of their runs the last 2 years." I was like, "No." And I've said this before. I've said this many times. I will be a great capper when I then realize to bet the other side. And now I just stay off. But we've been talking all about Bob Guiney. Now it's wide open. Who wants to win Best Bettor? It's wide open. Let's take a look at what Bob Guiney's done. That NCAA parlay is a loser. Did not cash. I just feel like the cappers are acting as if they're going up against 1,000 people. The Yale Purdue under was a great call.
Yep.
Great call, cashed. Then the Montana State, Texas Tech destroyed Montana State, so that's a loser. And then he's going heads up against Bridget for the over under in this game. He's on the over 128.5. That's our highlighted game that's being pushed back right now, and that is LSU Iowa State.
Okay, well, let's hang on. Let's just talk about these bets for a sec.
Sure, I'll put it back up.
I like the amount that he's putting on his Yale, Montana, and Iowa State, but you and I will generally, or at least me personally, I won't speak for you, but because I do like combining games, I do like parlaying them. But if I see weakness out there in the market, or if I see a game that I like, I am not going to put as much money on a parlay combining 2, 3, or 4 legs, as much money as I would on the single game. To me, that's a different unit size. So I don't mind that he's taking a swing there, and he's getting he's going for the fences, but I don't like the unit size. I don't like that it's the exact same amount as his single bets. That scares me.
I agree.
Or I just think it's wrong.
I agree. We do have the caveat right now that you have to bet 10% of your action on each bet.
Oh, right.
It does add like a level.
Okay, but hang on. Then he could put 10% there, and then 15 or 20% is what I'm saying.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but that caveat does make it a little bit trickier. Shout out to my guy Mike M. Man, we got so many great cappers in the chat. By the way, I guess I got a little too blustery on this live action, but I grabbed Illinois at plus 150 when it was available. It's 27-18 Chattanooga. If you're looking at live action, we are still waiting on the Iowa State LSU game to pop off. They pushed that back 35 minutes, but Wright State, Arizona is off and running for some reason.
Look at the props. Jimmy, my guy, you're an animal, logging more showtime than anyone I've seen. Respect, homie. Big love, Mike M. Big love. And that's true, Jimmy. You're working. You're Jimmy working your bag off. It's incredible, brother.
I love it. I love this. I love this so much. I'm going to be hammering. Sam Houston Racetrack is going to feel my wrath here in my fat account. I got a huge, not huge, but I got a loaded horse racing account right now.
Yes, and so, man.
Sam Houston, I'll be betting from probably about 10 at night. It finishes off about 12:30 Eastern. So, but maybe we'll be pushed back a little bit, but that's next for me. And I mentioned horses that my palms just start dripping. That's what I would like to be doing. I would, if I could, it's my favorite thing in the world to bet horses. That's all I will really want to do, in all honesty. Now, the thing is that obviously I want to win, but I bet horses more for fun. My dad raised me at the track, and I understand that there's a 20% takeout, and I really bet it for fun. I really want to win. I bet sports to make money and to succeed, and I expect to make money, and I expect to have a positive ROI. Whereas horses is just, it's my favorite thing in the world to do, and so it's a little bit different. We got Drew Vinsky in the house. So we are live betting college basketball right now, but really, in all honesty, it doesn't just have to be college basketball. Has Lakers Raptors tipped off? Oh, it has. Oh, jeez.
Jimmy, speaking of the Raptors, I know you're in Toronto, but I have to tell you, I haven't watched a ton of them this year. Watching that game with you, I like this team a lot. I really like this Raptors team a lot.
I love this team.
I think that they're very well balanced. They're a good fit for what today's game is. Yeah, they don't have like a true big man, but they, like, you remember when the Warriors, like the line of death, where they had just like small dudes out there balling out of control. I don't know, man. I think they're good. I think that they're good defensively, an incredible shooting team. They're fast. Yeah, I like them. It's just a shame how good the East is this year. But you know, I could see them making some noise. It's just I'd love to see Toronto versus Philly, that series again. I would like that.
I want to see Raptors Nets with Kyrie not able to come in the country. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see so badly, so freaking badly, so badly.
But come on, Toronto. Badly. But Toronto, Philly, like there's blood there. There's blood there. There's Embiid.
That scares me. It scares me, honestly. It really does. Like I don't think they have a ton of heart or anything like that, but it makes me nervous. Okay, so everybody watching right now, this is the biggest angle I've got in sports betting, pretty much, and this was the hardest bet to pull the trigger on. The Raptors just swept a road trip. And all I want to do is fade a team coming home after sweeping a road trip. That's all I want to do. So I'm on the Lakers first quarter, first half, and going up against a lot of people who think this is just asinine.
Has that game started, Jimmy?
Oh, it has, my friend.
Why don't we get a little? Why don't we get an update? Give me this. Help me find the score in that game.
It is 12-5 Lakers 3 minutes in.
Oh, Jimmy.
Now, but there was two angles here, and this could still not cash. Like, I'm not going to sit here, thank God I edited myself there. I was going to say something horrifying about myself, but I'm not just going to sit here and be happy and think that I cash this. But what I am going to do is there's two angles that must be respected. First off, a team sweeps a road trip and comes home. You have to fade them. You have to fade them 10 times out of 10 every chance you get. If you're going to add revenga on that shit, now I know revenga is not Spanish for revenge, and we talked all about it today. And I guess bevenga is,
that was the dude's name.
It's all from Scarface.
But that was the dude's name.
Yeah, I guess I was, whatever. But when revenge is involved and you add that on the cake, look, I'm not going to freak out. I just want to be a winning capper. And I expect to be a winning capper. And I've had my struggles this year. But if this shit cashes, of course it cashed. And remember that angle for the rest of your lives. And if it loses, I apologize. All right. Look at this now. God, it's so funny. This is, I have no idea what Rebecca is. It's so funny is that if I get this ridiculous deja vu every time I'm here live with you, Kip, and I think it's like just my own, the cup is half full. And my dad thought this was a real problem in my life and then when I became, about 35, he was like, no, maybe it will help you. But my first 35 years, he thought it was a problem because I was always like, no, I think this could happen. Like I was always just like on board with something. And every time we have a show, I'm like, oh, I'm going to catch this. I'm going to catch that. And I'm going to catch this. And then I don't. We've seen it happen. In fact, I've gone over my ROI and it's actually just a little bit negative on my live betting and all my action here on the show, where I'm like, that's crazy. I mean, obviously the one Lakers game went to overtime, so I lost those unders, whatever. But I was like, how could I possibly be a little bit down? But I am. And it was that 2-5 game. What was my 2-5 game? The one before the Raptor. Oh, I've blocked it out. I've blocked it out.
But I'll say this. really at the end of the, like, we're live streaming, we're trying to make money, but we're also accounting for what's happening in our game in the best better. We're hosting guests, and it's kind of like, you know what your mind is when you've got your kids, your kids are doing something, you're trying to write something out, your girl's hollering, and then you've got a computer in front of you. At some point, like, the kid gets dropped, your wife gets pissed, like, we're juggling. We're not like strictly laser focused on the game. But the Lakers Knicks joint, that was, I don't know if any of you guys were watching with us, but it should never ever have been anything but the under. And I don't know, maybe you had 6 or 7 bets on, and the fact that it went to overtime, and it was just a disgusting display from my New York Knicks, which was very common for me. But I don't know if Jimmy knew intimately what this team can do to a person. You did find out. But yeah, that was a fluke. Unfortunately, that shit is going to happen. But yeah, that was tough. But I think you got to give yourself a little bit of a break in terms of like what you're up, because
no, I don't think so, because it's a tie game now in Toronto. So that 10-point, no, it's okay. Russell Westbrook just hit a 4-foot pull up. That's where he needs to be. He needs to be within 4 feet. But
you see your man he's getting harassed in Toronto right now.
Who is?
He got harassed last night in Toronto, and he jumped out of his whip, and his security guard, like, how like the guy called him Westbrook the other night, and like on the court, and Westbrook made him shut up, and then he's got all of this press right now about, he doesn't want his kids coming to the game, he doesn't want his wife there, yada yada yada. Well, in Toronto, this guy Westbrook jumped out of his ride, and this guy kind of like, he did the most annoying thing where you want to punch his face. He's like, no, he's like, because Westbrook is like, what do you want to say? Or what do you want to do? And the guy's like, no, I got love. Westbrook jumps in the car, and the guy calls him Westbrook a goof. And you're like, come on.
Yeah, but the whole idea, and so this happened, it's funny. This is a funny analogy here, because so the whole idea is when you get a hater that comes in and hates on you, like on a live show or in any show, you don't give it energy. You don't give it oxygen. You don't give it gasoline. You give it nothing, and then it just gets tired out. They get tired out, and they just let it go. And the same thing happened now at some point, because I'm trying to get my family out of the apartment, and I had my show. My show was 3 hours and 20 minutes a day, and so my girl was looking at a house that we're thinking about renting, and she had to go, and then somehow Ella comes in like 2.5 hours into the show, just strolls in solo, and I'm like, oh, okay. And at first she was like beside me, and everybody has patience with me because they understand, it's a real life here. It's not like I try to create as professional a presentation as I can, but it's a real life and real drama. And nice basket. And so then Ella was just beside me for a bit, and I just didn't look at her or talk to her. And it was the same thing as a hater. After about a minute and a half of me not looking at her or talking to her, she just walked away. She strolled away. Now she came back 4 minutes later, and I gave her the phone. And I was like, why didn't I just give her the phone in the first place? But
I love, just really quick, I love the analogy, your hater and a hater and your daughter.
Yeah. But
they come into the story together.
Westbrook has made the biggest mistake that you could make, and that's being
if somebody gives you a nickname, like if somebody called me, if I was upset that somebody, instead of Kiprios, they called me Skip, if they called me Skipper or something, and I was like, don't call me Skipper, it would be over. It would be done, over, dead. Like, it would be an absolute wrap. You just kind of like hope that, that they don't know that you hate the nickname. You can't have, and especially in the NBA, there's no crying. There's no crying in baseball. There shouldn't be any crying in basketball, Westbrook. Know where you shut people up. Where you shut everybody up is game time. That's it. But, people want to talk about their feelings, and I get it, but at the same time, it's like, there's a very thin line between like Naomi or Osaka, whatever. Oh my God, that's a beautiful play. The tennis player who's got like mental health problems and whatever, and then getting booed in the NBA.
Well, I give you another example. I was one of my first like big live stream shows of my life was in this penthouse in Hako Beach for the Super Bowl, the Patriots Eagles Super Bowl.
Nice.
So we're in this just like the nicest, the single nicest penthouse in Hako Beach, and we're shooting there, and we're shooting the Super Bowl, and there's like 8 of us on the Super Bowl, and somebody says in the chat, and this is like it's a word that shouldn't be used, but it's a derogatory word, 3 letters that starts with the F.
Yeah.
And somebody wrote in the chat, said, who is that word in the Eagles hat? And I've been called, you get called horrible things. You just pretend it's nothing.
Yeah.
But he was upset. And he's like, ugh, you could see he's upset. And he banned the guy. So you can imagine what happened next.
New account.
No, about 7, because we had at that point we had 5,000 live or 3,000 live. We had like thousands of live viewers. At that point, he got about every minute and a half for the next 2 hours. So probably about 100 different people said the same thing, and then he kicked them out. And he kept kicking out, and he was just kicking people out as they said the exact same thing. If he had just not done anything to that first person saying that, it would have, you just don't give it oxygen, you don't give it energy, And then his Eagles win the Super Bowl, and he was like, he had a real tough night leading up to that fourth quarter. He was like so angry, and he was just like, why are people coming? He was just so angry. And
I could truly care less. I mean, I'm an artist, I'm a musician, and I've read the YouTube comments. You know what I mean? It's like, you can say anything to me. And during the pandemic, people told me in my industry that I was inessential. Like, there's nothing that's going to probably hurt me as much as that. But yeah, I don't give a shit. That's funny. You ever do this? Speaking of the Eagles and Patriots, I've got a couple of my really good friends really are like fly Eagles fly. And I was like, you know what? I didn't really have a great feel, but I was hosting, I had people coming over, and I wanted my boy I wanted him to have a great day. I wanted his team to win. My team wasn't in it. I didn't really have a sporting interest in it. So we all bucked up, and we put some big money on Philly. It wasn't because I capped the game, because I liked the game. I wanted to be on the side with my buddy, and it was lovely. It was absolutely lovely to see. 1, my boy so elated that his football team had won, and 2, to make money. And at the time too, it was really fun to make money on Belichick and Brady. Like, that was, if you could beat them, that was a good dollar to make, man. That was a fun ass dollar to make.
For sure. And that was a real tough night for me. I was on the Patriots, and then I put another K down on them at halftime.
Oh man.
Yeah. And so that was a real tough night. And I remember there was this hot tub. There were no fly women in it, but there was a hot tub, and I was sitting beside a hot tub, and it's the most beautiful view. Well, it's not that beautiful view, but you're in Hako, you're on the beach, like it's a view of the ocean. And I was like, it turned into this sad monologue where somebody had to basically grab me and be like, you're ruining the night for a lot of people,
And at that point, you probably had a drink or two, and the drink is taking you the wrong way.
Yeah, a drink or 15. Yeah, but mistakes are made. It's 23-18 Raptors, by the way. And it's so funny that I ended up taking first quarter, first half, because the only thing I was wanting to do, and I said it on the show, was take the Lakers' first half team total over. That was it. And then I don't know exactly what happened with my action, but that was the plan, was to take the first half team total over and not go up. And then I guess I just got some I don't know what the hell happened to me, but this is now going to become, there's Coach K. Look at him. Why is he retiring? He looks good, man.
I think he's had some work done.
Mike M says, Mike M says, watching the Brady comeback game, and of all the people, my mom's heckling me for taking the Patriots. He came back, and while I thought about the high road, I couldn't resist getting in the mud. Party with 30 of my friends. She doesn't heckle me anymore. It's so funny. It's so funny. The Brady comeback night, I was at Rob Bebenek's house, Bebsy, who I do an NFL show with, yearly and weekly and every year. And we were at his place and we had this party, and our buddy Tim Steves, who is one of the best comedians the country's ever produced. And he was, he hits the booze hard, and he's just hammering drinks. And he was like, he was too drunk to be there. He showed up too drunk, and he was like, I told you the Falcons were, he was Falcons. It was all Falcons. And then he was just we had to send him home at halftime.
So the Falcons won his Super Bowl.
I don't know. We've always wondered what happened. At what point did he wake up and he sees that the Patriots had won the football game?
So that year, I think I just got, I like you, I had a physical bookie for years. And then finally, and then I would bet through people, and people are like, dude, I don't want your action. Just go get a book. Go get your own like online sports book. So we go to Mexico, and that year I was watching a Baltimore New England game, and I had taken Baltimore I think I'd taken them to win straight. And then they went out by 2 touchdowns, maybe even 3 touchdowns in that game. And I got paid out. My book paid me out in full. I think it's 2 or 3 touchdowns that you get paid out. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this money and reinvest it. I just saw like New England kind of got a stop. And I didn't think they were going to lose that badly. And I thought, oh, it was so sexy. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play with the house's money. And I went on the other side, and New England came back and they won that game. When I was in Mexico, took my first trip with the family ever. And we were down in Cabo, and, went to the bar, had a reservation. One of my friends is there. We're watching this game, and it was, maybe it was 28-3 at the half. And I was like, I need to get some action on this game. My book does not work in Mexico. So that's why I was saying to Mike, I was like, how well did he do? Because I swear to God, I had the exact same feeling on that Pats game that I did that day with when they came back. And I was like, I want to hit them again. I've seen them erase, not a deficit that big, but I just wanted the fun. And man, it was good. There was a bunch of people in Atlanta to watch the room turn, because really I didn't have a sporting interest. I didn't have any money on it, but it was just incredible to watch it turn. I've got the LSU Iowa State game. I've got Iowa State up 2-0, Jimmy.
Yeah, we're in business. We're in business. So
man.
Get your live action ready to go. We are in business. It is 26-23 Raptors as well.
Dennis, why aren't you going to be on the best better? We need you.
He is a hell of a better. No question
Dennis,
about that.
you can win this money easy.
Yes, and $5,000 for the winner of season 2.
That's correct, Dennis. That's $5,000. Just on the table. There's bread on the table. You just got to sweep it off.
And it's an 8-week contest.
Yeah, it's going to be a smaller commitment.
$5,000 American up for grabs.
Brick City. Okay, 2. Well, I mean, it is early. Jimmy, do you want me to give you a little pause here? You want an update where I'm at? I'm at 1820.
I'm 1824, 1823, but don't worry about it because things are going to be moving all over the place. But I'm 1819, 1818. Well, maybe now, maybe for the next 10 minutes or so. 1816, 1814. He just cashed that trade. Look, the bucket. I don't know. I did not know how to bet this game. Dennis is on LSU -4. I was leaning in that direction, but I felt like maybe I could get a better spot live. I've got my live action up. We've got gamblers going up against each other here. And I love my action on Chattanooga, Illinois, +150. LSU just cashed a Traskey. This is going to be fun. All right, we are in business here in the best better, and we have a lot of cappers going up against each other, but we have nobody on Iowa State, right?
Do we have nobody on Iowa State?
I believe I'll do a double check here. I believe we don't have anybody on Iowa State here. Let's get in there. We have Bob Guiney on the over. Bridget on the under. Tuchman on LSU minus 3.5. Tiffany on LSU money line. And Jon Orlando on LSU minus 4. It keeps happening. Another thing, Jon Orlando keeps getting the raw end of the stick when he locks in his action. Now I know that I don't know. I guess so. Wow. So Tuchman got in his action the latest of everybody, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He got it in. He was dangerously close to not getting it in.
So the market was at that point moving towards Iowa State. Interesting.
What do you think of Tuck's action this week?
Oh man, we're going to come up to it, but the Senators have cost him 2 weeks in a row, and I think he made a terrible mistake. And even if it wins, I think it's a mistake. Then he fades the Senators against Philadelphia without Giroux. I hope he joins us so he could explain why he did that. Because if you lose that bet, you need to go for a walk. You need to leave your family and go for a walk. And you don't want to put yourself ever in that situation. And he did that. It's better to not bet it. And the Senators got up 1-0 in the first period. And he's putting himself in a situation where gambling no longer is fun. And that's an important thing that we want to talk about a lot too, is that you can't let the losses hurt more than the wins feel good. And we all do it. But you need to remember that in your head as you go along. So you need to enjoy the wins, not by saying, look how great I am on social media, look what I can do. But it's got to feel good inside. You got to feel really good. And then you can't let the losses destroy you. Tuchman put himself in a situation where if the Flyers lose tonight, it's going to destroy him. And he should not have put himself in that position. So I hated that bet. Hated it.
I do like that explanation of staying away from it. The Tigers went down. They turned it over twice. Then they got a block, and then they just got 2 steals as well. You and I were talking about their defense earlier. Mm-hmm. That I think they're maybe 11th in the nation on rips. Man, this team plays gritty, gutsy defensive ball, and now they're throwing up bricks. So cheers to our under. Okay, what do you think about this, Jimmy? You're a Raptors fan. What do you are you able to bet them? I mean, clearly you went with the Lake tonight, but I do think that there is value the same way that you and I are looking at betting these games while we watch them, because you're seeing it in real time and you're seeing the ebb and flow. Are you able to bet teams that you cheer for unbiasedly and just kind of use the knowledge of being able to look at their stats and not have a bias and just use the knowledge of hey, you actually have more experience looking at this team than any other team?
Definitely. But I saw a lecture given by the great Gabe Morency, and I think it was his main point of his lecture was you have to be able to bet against or bet for, but especially bet against your favorite team, because who knows them better than you?
That was my exact point. Yeah.
So that was his whole lecture. I remember it very, very well. I loved it. He was just, we had drank heavily the night before his lecture, but then everybody who knows me knows that at 10:30, I know I'm seeing Sox, Bulls, Bears. Thank you for that. Because he's saying LSU minus 1.5 right now. I was looking at that. I'm staring at that. I just want to see a little bit more game flow. I think a lot of mistakes, unless you know exactly what you want to do before the game starts, and I didn't. So then I think it's a mistake, attacking it 5 or 6 minutes in. So I just want to watch it a little bit longer. But everybody who knows me, and they'll see it all in San Antonio, is that it's all fun and games. We're going to have as much fun as possible. And we're going to drink and probably whatever, but I have prep to do on all of the weeknights I'm there, and that starts at about 10 or 10:30, and nothing gets in the way of that. So,
Well, I mean, the Kraken will be a slight obstacle, I think.
look, I'm 42. You think I know, man? Look, I'm very good at prepping intoxicated, and one of the things that I can do is I've got the worksheet that I need to create. I've got down from years of creating it, and then I just do the hustle. I just do the hustle graphics, the hustle, not graphics, but the hustle, not the thinking. Wait till I'm sober to do the thinking, but set
Got
up
you.
the skeleton so that it's all ready to go. And that'll take me about 2.5 hours to have everything set up, written out, set up so that all I need to do, then the thinking comes into play and that stuff. So Dennis Garcia says, betting against my Leafs is easy. They let you down nightly. Betting against my Raptors is hard. They are professionals.
Ooh, it's a good take.
Yeah, what's the score right now?
That is a good take.
Come on.
Oh, man. I feel like the Leafs, too. I lived in Toronto for 3 years, and it was lovely. My time there was an incredible time. And it was the time for the Nucks had Bertuzzi, Morrison, Naslin, West Coast Express, Cluj. You know, it was just a fun team. And the Leafs, I can't remember if it was still like Roberts and Nieuwendyk. Sundin's still there for sure, but they had good teams and they had incredible fans. They really did have like insanely loyal fans. And anytime that I wanted to go to a hockey game, I could not go to a Leafs game. I went down to Buffalo. I drove down to Buffalo. I saw the Canucks play there. I saw the Leafs play there.
Yeah.
In the Leafs, I actually got tickets. You couldn't get a Leafs ticket to Buffalo. But the dopest thing was there was a couple of expats from the West Coast that were also Nucks fans, and there was a spot on Queen or off of Queen, like called Shoeless Joe's. And we would go there. The Leaf fans would be so upset that they would leave at 10 p.m. And then the Canucks fans would come in and we had the entire like place to ourselves. Pool tables, darts, like the basketball shit. And they had really good, really nice waitresses. What did you just win on? What did you just cash on? Tell me you caught with the Raps.
Of course I did. Fading my own team. Dennis, I wish Dennis came on that first quarter with me because he's brought a lot of money into my life and I'd like to bring some into his. I mean, the fact that he sticks with me on these shows, I imagine that I've helped him a little bit, I hope. But I wish he took first quarter with me. Let me just sit, it just feels so goddamn good. It just feels so fucking good. Everybody against the Lakers, everybody and their mama against the Lakers. And it didn't matter. And I said it on my show. It's not the Lakers. There's not one team in the NBA I wouldn't bet on against the Raptors after they sweep. And it just feels so fucking good.
You're right. And you know what I love? And you got the receipts.
Get that money into my fucking life. Be a fucking winner.
I want that bank account up. I want that unit size up. Pause.
Oh, so do I. And you know, I cut it 25% in across the board in December, so I'd fire a little more freely. Mike M says that's discipline, Jimmy. Sometimes it's hard set up fully cocktailed. So this is what I do, and all the guys know it. They've all been around it, and they're all going to be around it in San Antonio. Is that, and it's sort of a Vegas thing as well. Now, Vegas is a little different because poker comes into play, and poker is an important part of my life, and I don't always have to do a show in the morning when I'm in Vegas, so that's a little different, but. In San Antonio, I imagine that between 5 and 8, 5 and 7 will be when I'm, really drinking freely and comfortably and probably my most intoxicated. Around 8:30 or 9, I start thinking about everything that I got to do and prep for and how I got to do it. And then I've got to start working at 10 o'clock or 10:30 and I leave everybody. And which is great because everybody gets into trouble after 11. And when we were in Costa Rica, I remember in Costa Rica, my producer, my writing partner producer who came to the first trip ever in Costa Rica. It was a conference down there that I hosted, and we would leave at 10:30. And he doesn't care. He doesn't need to party at all. He's just, so we would leave at 10:30, and all of the guys go out, in Costa Rica. They all go to some whorehouse somewhere, and I go work. I work, and then it is not. Mike M's right. Like it's not. I don't want you to think this is this easy thing. Like you're feeling tired, and so. But I can work. I work. But then Tim falls asleep, and I can hear him snoring, and that's a really tough thing to be beside. Then you're just gonna fall asleep too. So I'm like, look, I gotta go back to my room. I can't sit here and work if you're gonna just snore. And I couldn't find my key, so I went downstairs to get my key, and there's security in these hotels. You can't just bring some lady of the night up to your hotel. So all of these cappers that I'd been working with, who had been down there, they all had their purchased female on their shoulders, and it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. A few of them would like introduce them as like they were their wives, like that they'd known them. It was killing me. It was killing me. But the one thing about me is like, I'm never going to do anything that surprises you, really, unless you doubt my capping and I actually win money. Like what you see is what you get, and the opportunity to do these shows I'm so thankful for, and I'll do all the work necessary to be prepared. To be prepared.
Man, you're on it. You're definitely on it, and nobody's taking that. Nobody can take that away from you. And I also think like military minded, it doesn't necessarily mean you're from the military, but there is something about, listen, my best friend is a chef, an incredible chef. He came up in Vancouver, and he won culinary Olympic gold for Canada. And as a young man, there was a spot in Napa Valley called French Laundry. So like super bougie, super really good restaurant. And he went down there as a young man, but a young man very full of his capabilities and his talent. An incredible athlete as well, great baller. And he went down there, and in a kitchen can be very militaristic, where they want to break you down to nothing. They want to destroy your ego and build you up to their sense of perfection. And it fucked with him because he was very aware of his abilities, and at that point wasn't quite young enough or like a greenhorn enough to be able to take it. That being said, the lessons that he learned from that kitchen and that he went on to apply, and it wasn't one of those things that broke it down, are things that carry over in your life. So if you're like strict and you're disciplined in one aspect or one field or one like passion, generally like that bleeds over and it creates good habits. I love to see it. Or it's like sometimes you need reminders to get your hustle back in check. Because it's like, yeah, you want to be able to have fun. You're gone. You're out on the road. But at the same time, it's like, if you're not doing the work's not getting done, then you're not going to be as professional. Your picks aren't going to be as good. And then for you, your money's down. And that we can't ever have that. I'm back to Chattanooga, Illinois. This is a 4-point game, Jimmy, in the second.
Yeah, and I did put that just 50 and man, I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here just so thankful that the capping works and the Lakers took care of business here. It's funny. There was a few spots I wanted to go up against the NBA expert I had on my show today. And, just a few spots I was just really dying to attack. And one was the Atlanta Hawks, and I stayed off of that.
Well, hang on. What side was he on the Hawks? Did he like them over Memphis?
Yeah, and I was like, and I think that Dennis will have my back on this one, because what they did last out without Ja, they've already done before, but it was spectacular. And I know it was against weak opposition in the Pacers, but it was step back and
where do you have Ja Morant? I know it doesn't matter, but like rankings in the NBA right now for his value and what he brings to a team, and then like just where do you have who?
That's exactly my point. Obviously we all see the talent, and the talent's real.
Yeah.
Look at the toughness here. I can't believe they call that. I think that Chattanooga will get broken down here by Illinois. I really do. Let me see if I can get our game on the other channel. Look, the issue is what this team is doing without him on the floor. And I know that there's a lot of it's not just a look, if you were in like a 7-game series, you don't want to go into it without your star player. But watching them come together. Mike M says it's Spurs first quarter and Spurs halftime, fellas. Yeah, so I'm on the Spurs first quarter. I didn't take him first half, but I'm on the Spurs first quarter. I'm so excited about this game popping
I just
off.
took Illinois at plus 250.
What? They're a plus 250?
Yeah, well, they're down 8, Jimmy.
They're down 11. How far am I behind?
Oh shit, you're ahead of me.
No, I'm behind. I was just looking on the live betting.
Oh well, I'm behind on the live betting. Well, I came on. I jumped in on that just for fun.
By the way, that under looks so good. Dennis Garcia says Memphis 13-2 without him. Says I like Ja. They'll be a tough out. But Dennis thinks they're one and done in the playoffs, and I'd be happy to bet that. By the way, I did move on the Mavericks. All my friends know I moved on the Mavericks, 33-1 to win it all, and 18-1 to win the conference.
Wow, the Mavs, incredible.
Yeah, I moved on them about a week ago at those numbers.
How many futures will you lay out?
Well, that's a problem as we talk about the strategy. It's mistakes I've made. When you deal with the local, it's all credit. So when you have an account, it's harder to put out $500 or $1,000 or what have you on futures. If you have, a local and you're dealing with credit, it's very easy. It can get you into trouble. So all I've been trying to do is cut. I need less futures.
I got you. Evil Kip, sometimes he gets me into trouble, right?
Sure.
I gotta put him in the cage sometimes. He's an animal. He's got me, he's put me in some bad positions. Is there an evil Jimmy? Does he ever go out and make some decisions that are, like he's putting you in a position? Like, does your book take a call at sometimes you're like, man, why did I place that bet? Or does that never factor in when you're making decisions based with money?
I'm 42 now, and I've been doing this a long time. So I'm not saying that Evil Jimmy isn't in there, but Evil Jimmy has done some horrific things and put my life in terrible jeopardy. And it hasn't done anything like that in 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, that's good.
So
Evil Kip,
I lost $10K in a weekend on tennis. I don't know anything about tennis. I don't know one thing about tennis. I don't watch tennis. I don't know tennis.
Man, I love you. What tournament
awful.
was it?
It was Wimbledon with Raonic.
Wow.
It was the worst. It was worse. And I was like very healthy at the time. And I was like, I was running. I would run all the time. And all these ideas came to me while I was running, And I asked my dad, I'm like, my dad's like, very, very well read, and he's constantly thinking about the mind and mistakes we're making, whatever. And I was like, why would I have these horrible ideas while I was running? And he actually had like a scientific outlook. He's like, well, you're expending all this energy physically. Why would you think that your mind would be like in a relaxed state, ready to think?
Because there is something called a runner's high where serotonin's released, and it's supposed to give you a high. It's supposed to give you a natural high.
Well, Dennis, I'm surprised you don't know the story, Dennis. But that was my. So no, I don't make the one thing about me that people can count on is now I would say I don't, but it took me a little while as I aged, but I don't make the same mistake twice, and I'm stubborn and I write people off. Nobody does it. Nobody gets me a second time. Nobody ever. Now,
That's funny. I've got a price as well. Like, like let's say you lend your man, he needs some money. You lend your man some money. To me, there's a number where I don't call that guy again. I'm like, it was worth knowing the type of man he was that I let bygones be bygones. There's a number in my head where it's like,
Sure.
Because if I owe somebody $20, I'm not sleeping well at night, let alone, a greater number on that. So I am absolutely of that. But for the most part, with people in my life, I'm a pack rat, because I've met so many people, of traveling around, you meet so many great peoples, and I just, I never really, got rid of anybody except, if there's anything negative, or if somebody tries to get over on you, that's a completely different story. But I don't really hang on to it. I don't have too many grudges. Obviously, we've all caught some bad beats over our lives and had some bad luck, and come across some bad exploitive people. But that's
I feel you. And when you're talking, I think of Chaz Palminteri, because a Bronx Tale taught me, the main thing it taught me was, when you let a girl you open the door for your girl, or for a girl.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't reach across and unlock your door, she's no good.
Yeah.
I've kept that my whole life,
Yeah.
By
It's
the way,
a good metaphor.
I just moved on Illinois plus 3.5 minus 115. I pressed the button at plus 4.5. I didn't have a horrible tennis run. 6 months. No, God, no. I don't know anything about tennis. It was just that Wimbledon tournament. I can explain it more, and I will do it. It does pain me. But, one thing is that you make mistakes in life. You need to know that you're going to make mistakes in life. And the key is not to make them again and to become wiser from them. And I believe I've tried to do that. So the evil Jimmy, or that one there, that one has tried to ruin my life. Tried very hard and almost done it, but has not succeeded. And now there's no
love with
evil
this Coburn kid. How tall is he, Jimmy? He looks like he's 7 feet.
He's a big boy. Oh yeah, I think it's okay. Come on. Let's go. Jeez, all my money's now on this game. It's not our showcase game.
Well, I mean, I don't know where our showcase game is. It's all good. This game is interesting.
Well, your under is it's beautiful. It's down to 121.5. Did you move on it?
Yeah. I got the under.
Good. Okay,
good. Here, I'll tell you what I got.
Let's play some D.
I took Illinois straight. That's not a foul. Just to ride along with you. And then I've got the first half under, and I've got a single parlay. I've got the under one. I teased gorgeous. It to 133.5. I don't know why I did that. And first half result being LSU. So
that was Dennis's first half. Dennis, so look, the pandemic, Dennis is just like 15 minutes away from me. The pandemic is being messed with us, obviously, but this summer, I would like, I'd like to, pick your brain, hang out. And
Jimmy, hold tight 2 seconds.
Oh, sure. I don't want to talk about the score in the Lakers-Raptors game because the last time I waxed poetic, it chomped on my larynx. So I'm not going to do that. I also wish I didn't bet the Knicks -6 today. And, it feels like Dennis is now like another character on the show. How could I not have moved on the Hawks plus 5.5? Why did I let them talk me off of that? Now, obviously, I'm not on the Grizzlies. I knew not to bet the Grizzlies, but I didn't bet the Hawks, and I knew it was the right side, and it is very, very frustrating.
We got somebody knocking at the door, Jimmy.
We do, and I'm not sure if she knows the situation she's coming into, and she's
gonna like it.
She's shaking her head no. Let's introduce your next guest, and I would like you to share it with her as she comes on to the show.
All right, bring her in, Jenny. You bring her in, and I'll let her know.
I do want to preface it with the way. Now, I just learned about. We didn't know each other before we started the show, and I studied her accomplishments in life, and there's many. And I looked at all the competitors in the show, and I said, I think she's the most capable gambler in this show. I would like to welcome the 17th place in the 2008 World Series of Poker, but she's much more than that. Please welcome Tiffany Michelle to the program. Tiff, what's happening?
Hey, boys.
Hey, Tiff. How you doing?
Good. But now you've got me all like super curious. Well, first of all, we're watching LSU versus, I want to find this game right now. Texas A&M.
Iowa State versus LSU. Jimmy and I, for whatever reason, where we are, we've got the Chattanooga game, but
we can get different games up.
The game that we should be watching is LSU versus Iowa State.
It'll be back here in a second. We'll have it up for you, Tiff, but come on, Kip.
Okay, listen, he's dying for me to tell you this, so I've got to tell you this. Bridget made a couple of big swings.
Okay.
As of right in this moment, you are the best bettor.
Wow. Just wait. Let's just be quiet for a minute. Let me just have this moment. Oh, okay. Thank you.
And just also, as you know, Jimmy picked you out of everyone that he could have had. All of the pretty horses that came up and they trotted and galloped in front of him. Jimmy had chosen you. He picked you, the flower from the bunch, and he's very pleased. And he's reminded me about his acumen in choosing you. So for the moment, Tiff, there's still a lot of action going on.
Sure.
But for right now, you are on top. So congrats.
Did you guys that? Well, that makes me feel good. I mean, 50% of the reason I come on these watch shows with you guys is so that the bag will give me in-bet advice. And I'd say about 45% of the reason I come on is to check out how my competitors are doing, because for the people at home, we don't really, I'm checking, when they post what bets have been laid each week, it's like I kind of try to keep track, but when you have, 4 or 5 other competitors in the thing, you can't really check all the games to know where you stand. So it's always a little bit of a mystery. And then 5% is just because I like you guys.
We love you.
But yes, 45% is for sure. So you guys can give me the live stats on how I'm doing in this competition.
I can tell you what we're doing.
I think, just a second, I don't mean to interrupt. But I think I should, because I think that, Tiff, I think you need to double down on your action right now.
Okay,
I think you need to get in on LSU plus 4.5. It's available right now. I think she took LSU on the money line. It correlates with her plan. We expect LSU to come back, and this is a perfect opportunity to get. She should get it right now.
Yes, done.
Okay.
Because I think 2 days ago, I think wasn't the line at 7.5, or am I remembering incorrectly?
It never got there. This was a funny spot. It never moved.
Oh, really?
It never moved. LSU -4. Now, all the books I know, it never moved. At FanDuel, it did move to 3.5. But
okay.
But Tiff, you're in at plus 4.5 at -110. Are you betting $50, which is the minimum, or you want more?
Yeah, let's do 50.
Okay.
So we have one more week after this week. Is that accurate?
I think it's 2 more weeks. I think there's 2 more weeks after this one.
Okay. What's really strange? Okay, I'm not a college ball gal, because I'm going to say something offensive. So if you're a college fan, plug your ears, because it's so hard when you're raised on, pro ball and if you don't have an alma mater that you're like emotionally connected to, it's so hard to like downgrade and root for the lesser. That's always been my perspective on college ball. Sorry, everybody. I know I offended like every college fan out there.
But I think that this tournament and some of the basketball that's played is more entertaining and better than
that's what
the
people
NBA.
Say. I don't know. It personally doesn't do it for me, but I'm trying to find the LSU game right now. And it's weird because my TV says it's LSU and Texas A&M playing right now.
That might be women. Is there a NCAAM?
NCAA baseball. That's why.
Okay. Don't worry. See,
LSU. I'm on the wrong sport. What's the score?
The score, right? I'm a little nervous about my Illinois action. It's 21-12.
So Tigers down by 9. It's a good time to get in.
Yeah, I think it's a great time to get in. Plus 4.5. In fact, I'm going to go in with her. I'm going to take LSU plus 4.5 here. I'm going to put 50 on it, which is my unit size at this point for live betting.
I'm coming in as well.
I'm in. I got plus 4.5.
God, you guys, I don't know if I can fit all of you.
Okay, I'm in.
At the same time.
That house looks big. We're all coming in.
Oh, that was so cute. That was so PG how you just swung that, Kip. Did anybody sweat? You probably
I'm
did.
blushing.
because I know you guys aren't EPL fans, but did anybody sweat my Wolves Leeds game today?
Was it today? I
Guys,
thought it was Saturday.
today
I didn't
at
even.
1 p.m. Pacific. Listen to what happened.
Oh my!
I planned to like watch it live, but I had some errands. My errands ran longer than I thought, so I quickly halftime pulled the score on my phone. Wolves up 2-0. I'm like, sweet. And mind you, Wolves are ranked. I think Leeds is ranked 12th or something, and Wolves are ranked much better than 12th. It was one of the best matchups to bet this week. So I'm like, oh my god, sweet, halftime, made this great bet. And then y'all, listen, 84 minutes in, 2-2, and then Leeds goes on to win in overage time. Not that it mattered because I'm losing if they tied anyway. So obviously at the point that we get to the end of the game and it's a tie game, I'm kind of screwed anyway. But for 84 minutes today, I felt like I had made a successful bet.
Well, hey Jimmy, that reinstates what we said at the top of having Tiff on. You've already got money in the bank today.
Yeah. Well, okay. Here's my next question. You guys know what's going on with the Valspur Championships, right?
Yeah. I've been I only follow it because you bet it.
But you guys know that my 1 round 3 balls parlay, 3-leg parlay, 2 of them came in, 1 of them tied. And because I'm not a sports betting aficionado, I'm pretty sure because
that's a big factor.
The tie's a push, right? Is the tie a push? Is that how it's calculated?
The tie's a push.
Okay.
That's a huge catcher. As I said to Kip today, it's Friday, so I had my show. My show went 3 hours and 20 minutes today because we capped every NHL game, every college basketball game, every NBA game. And, and I went on to the only reason why I care about the Valspar championship is because of you, Tiff, and I'm trying to figure this shit out. And I told the story earlier about my dad. My dad didn't golf, so I don't golf. That's how we do things. You do what your dad does. And he brought home when I was 9, he didn't bring it home. It was in the backseat of his car, the back half of a horse trophy. Okay. And I was I looked closer and there's this horse's ass trophy. And I was like, what's this trophy? And my dad was like, shut the fuck up, whatever. And it was because he had performed poorly in the office. Office golf tournament. But wow, that's huge.
Yeah. So listen, I did this in the first or second week of the competition. And actually for me, because I do follow golf, it feels like a really easy bet. And for the most part, you're always getting I don't know the terminology, but plus or positive lines, because obviously if you have 3 people, for those that don't know, 1 round 3 balls is just in the golf matchups. There's 3 players in each matchup, and all that you're trying to do is bet on the single player in their first round who's going to have the best performance. And so it actually, there's a little bit of variance in golf, but for the most part, if you just pick strong players. And so I took Justin Thomas, who's on a heater right now. I took I don't know how to say his name. Oosthuizen. And then I took Shane Lowry. Shane and Justin were minus 160 or something. And so that's why I added Oosthuizen to that to get better odds. Unfortunately, so it was at plus 666. So I'm not sure how it calculates when there's a push, but I think it was Oosthuizen and Brooks Koepka, I think. And well,
you've been betting golf quite a bit, and you came so close that Jimmy and I were waiting for the result on Monday because
that was so funny. Close. We couldn't even do the show, Kit.
We couldn't do the show.
Yeah, because you didn't have the answers.
Because they were fighting for the top 10 finish.
Right. We had to wait. We were sitting there waiting for your golfer. It was too funny. We pushed everybody back a couple hours. We're like, look, Tiff's got money. Who was it? I can't even remember his name. Zalatoris.
Zalatoris.
Will Zalatoris.
So we're waiting for Zalatoris, and I was like, oh, he's buckling on the 17th. What do I care about him buckling on 17th? But it was because of your action, Tiff. Tiff, I can't believe that you cashed that. That's huge.
Thanks.
So
it's weird because I feel a little disappointed that my full 3-way didn't come through. My full 3-way parlay didn't come through. I wasn't trying to be naughty there, actually.
Right, Tiff.
But yeah, so I don't know what the odds are on that, but yes, I guess
I can do it. I'll do the math on it. It's easy. Lots of calculators online for that.
And in more boring golf news, Knox is sitting 5 under right now after round 2. Round 2 is kind of doesn't mean much. Obviously there's a lot of maneuvering that players do on the last 2 days. And so I think first place right now is 10 under. Knox is 5 under, which technically is like 52 second place. But the cut will probably be like 62 or 63
Oh, he
players.
cleared the cut. He cleared the cut. Cut
Yeah.
line cleared. And he was a -3 when we started the show.
I think I'm trying.
He came on
Oh,
late.
then he ended -3, round 2 -3.
Oh, okay. No,
But-
but I don't think he was done yet. He wasn't done yet. So maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wasn't
I
done.
could be wrong. I could be wrong.
No, I think I hope you're right because.
But I mean, I don't feel like I'm, there's a lot of play left to happen. And so it's not like he's not off to the sexiest start, but at least he's still in it. So
The reason why I liked it was because you were getting a plus line. I don't like.
tell me what you don't like, Jimmy. What have I done to make you
No,
sad?
it's not you. It's not you. I just think in golf betting, you're going to have 100 people in a tournament. Why would you take a minus line on anything? You shouldn't give no vig to anybody. And so
No.
the first thing I look at with your bets, and you had a top 20, and I was like, oh, and then I see a plus 250. I'm like, okay, great, perfect. You're taking a shot, getting a plus line. It makes sense to me. Let me pull them up right now.
Jimmy, I'm watching this Coburn kid. I have fallen in love with this man.
Oh man, the ass on him. We used to talk about Johnny Taves' ass, and it's the most important thing in sports. And I guess my dad had toddler shoulders and a tiny ass, and I didn't succeed in sports the way I wanted to. But Russell Knox, -3, made the cut, and who knows? Step up. You're in business.
Who knows? Can go anyway. So, okay.
Wow. So really, just like Tiff, that means that you're up about, I don't mean to get too excited, but I just want to be right. I just want to be right as much as
me both,
possible.
Jimmy.
And I believe in you.
Now tell me, we're talking about how amazing I am
Yeah.
Bridget, who's in first place, but what about
No, Bridget is not in first place. Bridget's
I'm saying who came in this week in first place.
Oh, yes.
But what about the freaking nut jobs in the caboose? Well, I mean, I don't trust that on any given Sunday. I don't trust like Jon Orlando isn't going to cash like $50,000.
Jon Orlando's doing Jon Orlando things. Tuchman hasn't done enough like to catch you at this point. Bob is fairly conservative. He's got a parlay that can make him a little bit of that parlay's already dead, right, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Bob's parlay is already dead.
The only person who could hurt her is Jon Orlando with the UFC parlay.
Yeah, with one of his 17-person fighting parlays.
Here's the problem. It's just like this guy's due. It's like playing poker with the worst poker player who plays any two cards, right? Like 7 deuce and 8-4 because it was suited, and this person, like, I guess it's like the reverse. Usually that person like wins, and you just have to bide your time because you're gonna like take all of their money at some point. I guess Jon Orlando's like the opposite. He's like the crazy player at the table that I'm just terrified. I'm like, one of these hands, I'm gonna get all in aces versus 7 deuce, and Jon Orlando is gonna like deuce blank me. I'm just expecting it.
You won some money a couple weeks ago, Tiff. I was following along on your Instagram story. That was fun. Where were you playing? Where were you playing poker?
Now that things are kind of opening back up a bit, I've been a little hungrier for it. I play online a lot because it's just better value, and I can sit in my underwear at home. But the Bicycle Casino here in Los Angeles had a WSOP circuit tournament series, and I kind of forgot what good value some of these like low buy-in local grinder tournaments are. You play poker tournaments long enough and you start to be a little bit jaded by the variance in the game. You can go play like a really strong game and get beat. But I think because I haven't played for a while and I sat down and played, I was like, oh, I remember how bad people are. I remember what an edge I have in this game. I played a 200K guarantee tournament, took 29th out of like 900 players or something like that. Played, felt really, really good about it. Of course you're sitting there like couple tables away from making 70K and you only cash for like 3K, which feels like a womp, but a profit's a profit.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
Nice. What was the profit?
3,000. It was a 400 buy-in and I cashed for 3,000, like 23rd place or something like that. So
sweet.
Hey kids, it's 24-17 in this basketball game, Iowa State. So LSU's been on a little bit of a run. There's 2 minutes left in the first half. So Dennis Garcia, if you're still with us, the under 60 is
live. Why didn't I come in with you guys on that? That was a mistake. A great bet.
Yeah. That was a good bet. That was again Dennis Garcia. Well, hang on, wait a second. There's still enough, but it's looking pretty good.
But you wanted it. You wanted it too. So that's what I'm talking about when action correlate. Like you never want to tail somebody blindly. You want to hear a handicapper that you trust and have it correlate with your own action, and then you want to roll with it.
All right, I found the game. Remind me, y'all. I bet
you have LSU on the money line.
And Tiff, you muted yourself somehow.
Yeah, you did. You have LSU on the money line, and then you had a nice opportunity to jump on it, and you did at plus 4.5.
Okay, and I guess I'll know the score in a minute here. When what was the score?
Hang on, I got you. Just a second there. 24-17, 2 minutes and 3 seconds left in the first half.
24-17. LSU's down.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, that's the only way you're going to get a number like that on a favorite. Can everybody just for a second? Lakers 59, Raptors 55. So I cash $136 twice. First quarter, first half. The $272 profit helps, but fading, it's the best angle in sports gambling. Tiff, I bet against my team.
Right.
Because they just went on a road trip and swept the road trip. They go 4-0 on the road trip. They beat huge teams. They beat the Western Conference champions. They beat all these huge teams. And then they come home against the team being made fun of everywhere in the Lakers.
And you just knew the Lakers were hungry for it?
Well, it's not. I said on the show, there's not any team in the NBA I wouldn't bet on against the Raptors tonight. Because they swept the road trip. In NHL and NBA, please remember this angle. It will pay you out. And I can't wait till I start hammering these spots with bigger bets. But cash. Now,
he's saying team goes out on the road, then their first game at home, hit the other team. Hit the team that's coming in on the road, going into the team that just swept. And he called it before this started. The Lakers have done it. And Jimmy looks like a genius at the moment.
Genius is way far too much, but understanding the right angle, it's just in NHL and NBA, anytime a team, a group of guys travels from city to city to city and wins, feels so good about themselves, and then goes home to their families and has to deal with everything that families, provide, and then have to go to the arena. They're going to lose early and probably lose the whole game.
On that note, 2 questions. Stupid question. Isn't college ball, do they play shorter quarters than NBA? Is that right?
Yes. They play 2 halves, 2 20-minute halves. In the NIT, they do 10-minute quarters, but generally speaking.
Okay. And then how much, Jimmy, I don't know how to ask this question. Like, how much have you bet this when you sports bet for like your personal profit, like as a part of your life and job? Yeah. Is it like, okay, so I know for this competition, we're betting like put your bets in every Friday and let's watch the game over like the weekend. Do you have specific days that like you're betting things, or it's just literally just based on the climate of what sports are going on? I guess what I'm asking is like, what have you invested like this weekend in tournaments? Maybe I'm just curious, like what?
Sure. Well, my unit size varies a little bit sport to sport. For the last 3 years, one unit to me has been $200.
Okay.
But I only bet one unit on NFL and NHL. I use 3/4 of a unit in NBA and MLB, and I use a half unit in NCAA basketball and NCAA football. That got skewed a little bit this year because over the Christmas holidays, I started getting worried that I wasn't betting on dogs enough because I was worried about my unit. I was worried I was betting too much, and not betting too much. The whole goal of a sports handicapper is to have your unit size increase.
Right. It's like bankroll management for poker players.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. So, and I want my bankroll to increase so badly, but I realized that the mistakes I was making at that time was because I wasn't pulling the trigger on things that I wanted to pull the trigger, especially underdogs. So I cut 25% off all my action across the board over the Christmas holidays so that I would be able to pull the trigger a little bit more. And I've been on a real nice run. And so I added a little bit to college basketball, and I kept NBA the same. And then NHL I cut to 150 because I've kind of been having a tough year. So, but I'm a volume better. So I'll have, 7 to 18 bets a night.
Okay. A night?
Yeah.
Wow.
But only on the nights that I'm working right now because you need to kind of regroup. And I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday with my show. And then Saturday, Sunday, at that point, if I'm not fully handicapping the card, I'll only bet NHL because it's the closest.
That was my next question. You're mentioning the units that you bet per sporting event. What's the strategy behind how many units you bet for different sports? Are there certain sports that like there's more variance in that it's like less beneficial to be betting more units, or it's always just depending on what the line is?
I think the variance is situational, not necessarily. Obviously, there's going to be more variance in college when you're dealing with non-professionals.
Okay.
But no, I don't. I think variance is situational, not sport by sport. I think it's what sport you know the best and what sport you're the most confident in.
So it has to do with like your experience with the sports and the players, not some kind of rule about this is the better sport to be betting.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you guys. Definitely. So for me, it's NHL has always been. But what's happened to me, Tiff, over the last 5 years when I started getting paid to do sports gambling content and moved from stand-up comedy and acting was that I stopped attacking situations.
Right.
And it's been a big problem. And there's a few professional gamblers that I hang out with, and not many. It's a very difficult thing to do. When I started, I tried to find out how many professional gamblers there were in America, sports gamblers, professional gamblers, and I thought there might be. And this is and then people have, tried to take me to the shed with this, but I thought there was about 250. That's it.
Gamblers? Are we talking about sports betting or like
only sports betting? Only sports betting that were paying their whole living, and obviously that's a low number. But that's what I was like. And then people are like, there's people you've never heard of and all this stuff. And that's all legitimate. And I was giving a low number that was probably going to have people like saying, no, way more than that, way more than that. Get the board. Coburn, you're much bigger than him. And so it's a very difficult thing to do. And when you do it for a living, you attack certain situations. You make a 5-unit bet in a situation where like, look, I know this is going. And I stopped doing that over the last few years.
Sure.
And before, when I was a comic, and I, this was also like helping pay rent and everything. I would see a situation. I'd be like, oh, we gotta hammer this. We gotta do whatever we can to attack it. And I stopped doing that. I started doing every unit the same. And that was a mistake. It's a flaw in my gambling. And the main thing that people who roll with me know that all I want to do is be a better gambler. And I'm listening and learning and trying to be better. I want my unit size to go up, and I make mistakes. And
you're trying to be a better. Is that what you're saying to me?
Better.
Yeah. And are you the best better at this point?
At this moment, she is our best better.
That's the difference between you and I. Is I'm striving to be the best better, and you just want to be a better. But guess what? Better bettors someday might get to be the best better. So you're on the right track.
I hope to be on the right track. But look, I'm very excited about the next week's episode. Has Tiff been invited yet to the next week's episode, Kip? Because we need her on it.
Yeah, the winter episode. I know all about it.
Is Tiff coming on our next episode?
Yeah, we got Tiff, and we have Tux confirmed. We're gonna conduct our interview at
Oh no, Tux sadness and Tiff's joyous wonderful energy. Is that what we're going to be dealing with?
We've got the theater faces, Jimmy. You and I both have a background in acting, so we've got the big happy and the sad. So it's beautiful. So yeah, we'll see them at 10, I believe. We will see them at 10.
Tiff, you've made me proud from week 1 to week 8. I've added there's a whole bunch of statistics that I've tracked of you that aren't on the show.
Okay.
Average bet, average line. Well, average line's on the show. Average bet, ROI, everything. Your average bet is the lowest of everybody on here. And I believe your average line is the lowest as well.
Really?
And this is everything that I thought was going to take you to victory amongst this group of cappers. I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work. Let's get that cash. All about getting that cash. We need more cash. We want more cash. Go get it.
Thank you. Wow, what a speech. Thanks. I mean, anyone else who misses coming on these shows with you guys is not the best bettor and is seriously out emotionally, mentally, strategically, personally, professionally. Thank you. Well, on that note, it's halftime right now, right?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to keep my eye on it. I'm going to go put my face on and go to a play tonight.
Nice.
And yeah, I guess I'll talk to you guys.
We'll talk to you at the interview.
Yeah. LSU plus 4.5 your live action, but I think you'll catch the money line as well.
Tiff,
From
nice work.
to God's ears. Mwah. Bye, guys.
See you later. There she is, Tiffany Michelle. And this is one of those nights where everything's coming up the bag.
Easy, Jimmy. This is exactly what happens. Everything's coming up the bag. But hang on. Wait a second. Usually when you do make this comment, there's a whole bunch of action left. You actually have already padded your pants a little bit with some cash.
I have a ton of cash. I just wish I had moved on the Blazers. I wish I had moved on the first half over in Dallas. Oh, I think that might have missed by a point. I have your Knicks -6.
It's a good time to get him. I love this Coburn kid. I love everything about him. I love the way he plays. They had a power forward for Illinois that they just took out. And I'm glad they did. I didn't like the man's temperament. This Coburn is just a beast. I like it. You played my Knicks tonight.
I did, yeah. I need this. I don't look, it's not about need, but I would like Illinois to take care of business here right now. And then this is a big 4 minutes for me.
Nice offensive rebound. Nice.
Okay, can you because this is we're gonna focus on this for next little while. Can we tighten up our streams?
Yeah.
I'm at we can't.
Where you at?
The referee just Williams just brought down the board on the ground. All right.
You're quite a bit behind me. I'm going to wait till the clock starts running.
Okay, yeah, let's wait till the clock starts running.
All right, it's running.
Okay, I'm not running
over here. You tell me when it starts running.
Okay, we're running 404, 403, 402. Let's see some defense. Defense here.
I paused it. I am now at 3:53.
Perfect.
They just threw it out of bounds.
Ah, yeah. Let's go now.
That's my boy. All right, let's get this Illy money.
I'd like this Illy money. It would help because it would give me some bullets to fire here for LSU second half.
I got a bit of a limp mic over here, Jimmy. Oh, man, was that a foul? This mic keeps drooping on me.
We should get Tiffany Michelle back on. All right. Let's go. Okay. Let's go. I am proud of how she's capped this. I imagine that this is how she would cap this.
You did well. You're going to have a huge advantage for the second season.
Oh, he fouled out. Oh no. Say it ain't so, Josh. What, you're gonna watch for the next 4 minutes? This is gonna be the worst 10 minutes of his life.
I hope so.
No,
I
I
hope
mean, look, Chattanooga could still take care of business, but him watching right now, oh no,
That's got to be another foul. Oh.
oh, that's a foul. That's a foul right there. All right, they got to be in the bonus now. We in the bonus? Let's call it double bonus. Dennis is sweating out Fullerton. I can't even go over there, Dennis.
Which
Look,
Dennis watching?
He's got Fullerton plus 18.5. By the way, I hope the Raptors now crush the Lakers.
Yeah, you made your money.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the sweetest plum, though. You bet against your team in the half, and in the second half, you come along, so you're there for the win and the money. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, yeah, let's hit the, it's so funny, Kip. But every show we've done together, I feel like I'm sitting here, I'm like, look, I'm making all the money tonight. And then things go wrong. But I'm off to a great start tonight. I went 13-2 plus 10.9 units on Wednesday. That's my first 10 unit plus day of 2022. So,
and then you're spending it at the track tonight.
Sammy Houston, baby.
I love it. Well, I know what that means. That means this is the night. Like, this is a celebratory. This is your weekend tonight. I know what tonight means to you.
Yeah,
it means no phone calls tomorrow. I leave you alone.
The pressure is a little. Oh, you don't call it, Coburn. Come on, you can't foul right now. You're so much bigger and stronger, Coburn. Just use your head. Take a deep breath. I mean, with the players on the floor, you can't lose this basketball game. And if he puts his shoulder in your chest, you let him.
I don't see where the foul. He used his body.
I agree, but don't
miss one of these. Miss this. Miss it.
Come on,
miss it. This 33 kid is the one that I was worried about. He was getting pretty emotional earlier. Speaking of emotional, Jimmy, I don't think enough was made about the King so rudely throwing that ball in Scotty Barnes's abdomen section.
Look, look, Scotty's in a lot of people's heads. He's going to be just a spectacular basketball player.
But I know the play. The play is you're out of bounds and you want to throw it off somebody from the opposing team off their body while they're inbounds. I've never seen somebody like that, the Thor of Hammer and all of their will and might, two-hand, double fist, throw the ball down. And there was no, I don't know if, oh shit, that could have been a foul.
Should have been. That should have been a basket. If you guys don't D the fuck up here, I'm gonna lose my shit. Are we gonna D up like men here? Come on, Coburn.
Oh my God. I like Coburn even more now. He's from Jamaica. Far are you ahead of me? He's Jamaican.
Okay. You're 225, 224. Come on.
There we go.
Hiya!
The hiya gets dropped. I love it.
So when you were saying Hawkins was being emotional, what did I miss?
All right. He misses a shot. Someone from Chattanooga, they pull down the rebound. He goes in, he slaps the ball. And the guy's got two hands around the ball like this. Goes in, slaps it like an idiot. Like the man's got the ball. And then he kind of started to freak out. And it was so unnecessary. Druvinsky in the building. He's a chef, true.
Oh, really? Drew's a chef? I didn't know. Why are you taking outside shots? You're bigger than them.
Yo, he is 7 feet, Jimmy.
Why are we taking threes? No need to take threes. Oh.
7 feet, and they say he's 285. I don't believe that he's 285. I believe that he's got more than that.
God, my capping was on point today. I did not want Dallas after this 3-game sweep on the road, but I didn't take Philly. I have the under 243. Wait, let's double check that shit. I don't know if I even.
The Tigers has the second half started?
Has it started?
I think it has.
Oh my God. I never pulled the trigger on the under 243. Why did I get cold feet? I don't know why I got cold feet. Damn it. That's going to cash with ease. Sox, Bulls, Bears says made Wisconsin 3-unit play because you guys scared people by not talking about it. Man, I'm so sorry. I was just thinking about you, and I was like, man, we didn't talk about that spot. Is that game off and running? Let me just pull up my notes here. My bad, man.
No, I remember. We didn't get back to it. We were just going through our players' action, and then I forgot to bring it back.
It doesn't start for 48 minutes.
Oh, we can still get. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you already made a 3-unit play, which is all good. I'll pull up my notes quickly here. Sorry. Pages and pages and pages of this bullshit. Oh, here we go.
Man, we got a 1-point game.
I like when you believe in a basketball team and they get a face slap and then they get a break. And when you deal with the real big conferences, it plays pretty much into the following week. And so I like that Wisconsin loses in the quarters there. I like that a lot. Now, Colgate. Jesus.
Illinois ball, baby. Illinois ball.
Colgate is a very talented basketball team, and they're talented enough to keep me off. But one thing that happened on the show, Sox, Bulls, Bears, was that Babano moved on Colgate, and Pinnacle was giving the best line. And that's not something that you want. You don't want that book giving you the best line. It's very dangerous. It's something that scares Peter Loshak enough where he doesn't want to make the bet. Well, no, he usually still makes the bet because he believes in his capping, but he's very hesitant if he knows that book is giving you the best line available. And that it was +8 at some books. It was +8.5 at other books, but it was +9 over there. And so that made me think that made me not back Babano's action. Made me not move on Colgate. So Mike M says, I just don't see Colgate getting there in the end. The Big Ten has been slamming opponents this turning. There's astute chaos.
Oh,
how are you ahead of me?
Coburn.
Okay.
Am I ahead of you again?
Yeah, you're ahead of me. Astute chaos. You see my Lakers first quarter, Lakers first half. Now, look, I know that 136 on each profit, but just
yes, chaos. Making a little bit. We want to make more. We need Illinois to win this.
Astute chaos is the real deal. Whew. So, Mike M says Colgate's bottle. Dennis Garcia said Fullerton down 19 with a dunk with 3 seconds left. Lose by 17. I had a boy, Dennis. I had a boy. When a man makes his living through capping, that's special. Oh, okay, you're ahead of me. I don't like it.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna pause it for you a little bit.
Okay, the ref is about to pass the ball. Wait, he just put his finger in the air. He's talking. He's looking like he might have a heart attack. Okay, just give the ball to.
Tell me when he shoots the second.
He did. He just got it.
Okay.
Okay, 31, 30,
All right, hold tight.
29. Oh my God, his last shot stuff.
All right. I'm with you. Hawkins.
Don't go for a 3. You're bigger. Find Coburn down low.
Look, they're doubling him. That's got to be a foul.
It was.
I think Coburn is tired.
I wish I came in on this under with you guys. Just see my palms glistening. I don't know if there's anything. I don't know if there's anything more fun than this, though. You do the work. You spend all the time on the work. You fight the good fight, and then you see whether or not your work is going to make you money. Chattanooga's going to have to hit catch a miracle.
Okay, so Sox, Bulls, Bears. My angle is I feel like the NCAA would not let all Big Ten teams fall after Indiana and Iowa, especially with Illinois' tough matchup. I see this spot being super sweet for Davis and the boys. Plus Michigan State, tough matchup tonight as well. Michigan State, that's big shot Bob over there.
Well, I'm David. I'm on Davidson.
All right, Jimmy, here we go. We got 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Yeah. Chatty. Oh, for the winner.
Shinono. Oh, there we go. All right, cash it and cash it and cash it. Now, I mean, there's 50 a pop, but we cashed the plus 150 money line. Then we cashed the plus 3.5. All right.
Jimmy, we're making money tonight, boy.
We are. We are. And it's been a glorious week, and the timing is right.
Well, now I need LSU to win this game. So let's please, I want them to take us over there.
Well, let's refresh. We have 2 channels. Oh, we're there, baby. We're there. Let me just refresh here. Ooh. Refreshed. Get that cash. Okay, so I moved with Tiffany. So I got, what do I have? I took LSU plus 4.5.
Being LSU, so I lost that, and then but I had that under, and then I've got LSU plus 4.5 in game. And the bots are making offers, Jimmy.
Well, I didn't listen to a single bot offer. I just cashed it in full. Oh, it feels good, man.
Jimmy, you're having a big night.
I'm having a big night. But, I mean, I had the biggest night I've had all year on Wednesday. I had a winning night on Thursday. I had a wild night in NHL. 2 wins, 1 loss, 2 pushes. And then I went 2-1 NCAA basketball. Cashing the Lakers. That's when I feel like.
And the Raps are up by 2. My Knicks are up by 6.
I need a -6. I'm a little nervous about that bet. But cashing the Lakers first quarter, first half, that's when I truly feel like all I want to do is spend the rest of my life capping. That's all I want to do. And
who's out for Brooklyn right now? Portland is up by 7 in the third. Who's out? Is anybody out for Brooklyn?
Well, I mean, Kyrie can't play at home. I don't know what the situation is. I'm not watching it or following it, but I wish, I'm in the perfect setup here right now. Look, I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment with my family. We're trying to get into a house, and I think we will shortly. But everything is revolving around me succeeding in capping. What a wonderful opportunity that is. I hope I can, my whole family, they all believe that. You should have seen Ella today. Ella knows exactly what's going on. She's 4 years old, and she's like, Dad's capping. It's just I'm very excited about this opportunity. Look, if in a few years I don't have a family anymore, and I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment somewhere, and you're like, oh, well, Jimmy didn't do it. But if in a few years things get better, you'd be like, I want to spend all my time capping too.
All right, Jimmy and Kip, quick question. How do y'all did with excellent capping and being on the night side, then lose to some bullshit, calls, flatness, etc.? Brooklyn Barbies. All right. Well, chaos. Jimmy, a couple weeks ago, we were doing the live bet, and Jimmy was on the right side of everything. He was on the right side of the ledger. He had the under. The Knicks were taking care of business, and the Knicks fell apart, and that game went to overtime, which obviously killed every single one of his bet, and he played it completely perfectly. He had a minor meltdown, but at the same time, it's like calls, refereeing, and then just acts of God happen. Jimmy was not happy, but the next week we got after it. We're here tonight. You're after it again. I mean, that's just unfortunately that's part of it.
But Sox is Bulls Bears cashed Illinois +2.
But
Illinois
I don't know.
You got that.
I'll walk it out. I'll tighten my purse straps, and but
well, it's funny.
Happy, man.
It's not up in my. So I gotta look up here for that comment.
Here I can get you.
No, I see it here. Yeah. Brooklyn Barbie. Jesus Christ, dude. That's like a inside joke from Ella Ella came on the show today. But we have often said on the show that if you beat the market move by 20 to 80 cents, you won. And that has not been the case in NHL this year, to the point where it affected my life negatively and made me extremely angry. And I don't know if you know this, Kip, we were talking about on my show today, but my ROI, because I track, everything heavy, and my ROI on bets where I've beaten the market move is negative in NHL. And that should be impossible in any sport. And my ROI on bets where the market's gone against me in NHL is positive. And now I see NBA cappers, experts, no fear when the market moves against them. MLB cappers, college basketball cappers. I don't have that. I have a bit of it in NHL, but
Jimmy, I sent you. Sorry to interrupt. I got an email, so I didn't. I sent you an email. We have an in-game bet from John. So I don't know what to do with that. I'll let you.
Sure. Did you text me with that?
I emailed it to you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Take me a second to say.
But he sent it 15 minutes ago before the half. So I mean, I don't know.
Okay. Well, we can time it all up, so it's no problem.
And I also have Tux. I got Tux live bet as well.
Okay.
Tux has the last of his money, LSU +2.5. And
I like that.
I'm gonna send this over to you. So that is screen capped.
Perfect.
And then I'm gonna send over Jon Orlando's. It's just Tiff.
Perfect. Oh, what do you mean? It's just Bridget.
Pardon me, just Bridget.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, we got everybody's action in here. So you just sent me Tux LSU +2.5. I like that
Bob.
bet. I moved with. Oh, here we got the message. I moved with Tiffany on LSU +4.5. Again, only $50.
Yeah, I rolled with you guys too. But Bob's bets here too, brother. So Bob has Iowa State money line. He had it at -115 for $50.
I think the game. I think that I expect that to be a mistake. I think that we should. I mean,
no. He had it at it was 27-24 when.
Oh no! I mean, I think it's a bad bet. That's what I mean.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I when I'm watching this game, and I don't have a real feel for it yet, so I should. But when we watched, Chattanooga had an injury early, and then they're big fouled out with 4 minutes left. When they're big fouled out with 4 minutes left, this is the mistakes. I make many mistakes as a capper, and I want to clean my shit up. But when that big fouled out, remember he fouled out with just under 4 minutes left?
Yes.
$500 should have been bet on Illinois. Seriously. Open up the purse strings at that point. And I don't have the bankroll right now to do that. And that's okay. We're doing $50 unit live bets, whatever. That's fine. We've talked about unit bets a lot tonight. And I'm sort of, in all honesty, the whole idea of what I'm trying to do is make it real and transparent and honest. And sometimes when I make it honest and transparent, I'm like a little embarrassed. Obviously, I would like my unit size to be bigger and my live bets to be bigger. And I think I need another beverage.
Yeah, get it.
That's what I need.
All right, we got our
I'm relaxing
LSU
sadly.
and our Iowa State. 1
no, I
point
can't-
game, Jimmy.
I can't leave
LSU
here.
plus 4.5. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I want more money. I want more. So
It's coming.
What are we dealing with right now? I also want the Raptors to beat the Lakers after I've taken $272. I stayed off the Cavs. It was very difficult. I wanted the Hawks, and everybody who saw my show knows that. I want the Knicks to cover the 6 or 8.5 live. Oh, wow. I lost this. Okay, I have a losing bet here. I lost the Spurs first quarter. Badly. That's my first loser. Let's go over to NHL. Hurricanes up 3-2. Oh, my God. Bruins are up 2-0.
What did you have in that first quarter, Jimmy? Did you have San Ann?
Yeah. But you know what? I don't really care. Oh, no, obviously I care. But cashing that Lakers first quarter, first half puts me in a very, very good situation. And I only had 5 bets in NBA, so.
That's a good little game right now, too. Wraps up by 1.
Yeah, I'd love to, we probably should have done that game, but you can't not do March Madness.
We had to do the madness.
Yeah. And we're doing March Madness next week, everybody. We're doing Saturday. So we're going to do the first Elite 8 game on Saturday. And also, those of you watching and supporting the show, we thank you so much. We also want you to know when the show's on, we will do a live game every weekend. So you always know you got a live game with Kip and I where we're going to live bet it and talk gambling and try to make money. And
yeah, we said last week that we were going to get in a little bit early and maybe build a bet with whoever showed up early. I still think I do want to do that. We did it last week. And we had a ton of fun. Neither one of us had a feel for this game. We both kind of threw our hands up in the air and thought that the best way to play this LSU Iowa State game was to watch a little bit of it. We kind of hoped what happened. We hoped that LSU went down early, and that happened. And obviously we jumped on the under in the first half, courtesy of Dennis Garcia. And we liked the under as well. Or I did the under 129.5. But I do think it would be fun next week if 15 minutes before the game starts, we're talking about putting something together, getting 3 or 4, just something light and fun and small for people in the chat and the thread to rock out with.
Fuck, that hurts.
And it is good. Like I think it's better. You the more conversation you have in and around what you're liking or where your bets are going. Sometimes you can get information that might sway you, or somebody can have a hot hand or tell you something. It's good. I do like the fact that it's concentrated energy and effort into one main game. I love it.
No, I love it too. I love it so much too. I want to give a big thank you to Mike. Mike and I have been camping there for a long time, and that comment means a ton to me. Saying your transparency is what grows the platform. We all lose, and it's not that we lose overall, but we all have losing bets. And he says we don't need to take you showing us we don't need to take the bridge and get back to work with a positive attitude makes it real, and that means a ton to me, Mike. And thank you for that. And that goes to what Kip was just saying. So we want to do these parlays on a certain game, and we want to also include you guys. And we've been talking a lot about it because we'll be live for one game every weekend. And then when this game came up, Kip was like, okay, what do you want? And I was like, I can't give it to you. When we had our last game where we each put in 2 plays, I was like, that was the Suns Raptors game.
Yeah.
And we're trying to succeed as handicappers. And I was very confident. And Kip, you cashed both of your bets.
Yeah.
I cashed my son's team total under, and then I lost on Scotty Barnes's 0.3 on assists. And then he went off the next 3 games. That happens. That's why capping is so tricky. But then when it came here, I was like, no, I let this isn't for fun. And it's not like we're not going to put the bet in, but I was like, I want the people that watch our show to know that this isn't play. Like if I don't feel like I have an edge or an angle, then I don't want to make a bet. And so I said no when you wanted to do it. And thank you for honoring me on that.
No, I think it's a great call because fully transparent. I was like, hey, the bet's going to be better. The game's better. Let's get some action on it. Even if we just do $10. And Jimmy's like, it kind of messes with the integrity of you and of us. If we're just like, hey, let's flip a coin 3 times and call it in the air. That's not the point. The point is to try to find the inches and to be able to find an angle and to have the confidence. So no, I think it was a great call by you. But I think that, moving forward in college, fully for me, college is going to be a little bit trickier to cap. But I love it. I mean, I love watching it. And I do. Basketball is such a fun thing to bet in game because of the swings, because of the runs. So I think that, hey, we've already done well. We already won some money in the first half. And we're in this game. We got ourselves a hell of a game, and there's still more opportunity to throw bullets. And I don't think that I'm done casting shells on the ground for this one.
No, I think we should keep making moves, and I enjoy this opportunity immensely. And I've never had this opportunity to do a weekly game live and hammer away. And we have so many great cappers that I get the pleasure of running with and listening to, and it's a big part of capping is listening to the guys you respect. Let's talk about a couple of big boy bets that have come in from Mike M. Houston first half -4.5, Houston full game -8 against UAB. So this moved to 9, and it even at some of the dice books moved to 9.5. And Babano on my show gave out UAB, and that made me uncomfortable. Oh, Astute Chaos. I mean that, man. For real, man. I mean that. Man. But watching the market move, and we'll talk a little bit more about when does Houston pop off anyways, that Houston UAB game. What an exciting game that's going to be. I guess, next year we could think about just being live for 5 or 6 hours in college basketball and going from game to game.
Bro, I was thinking that too, because I've let my life run afoul of this tournament because things have, usually as a young man, even as an older man, the first couple of days of this tournament, I didn't let anything get in my way. No, I was in front of the TV and
But you were just watching it, right?
I was just watching it. I wasn't betting it. I was just watching it, but I would love to do that next year to be like, all right, we're going to put together 2-3 games in a row and hammer them. I think we should do that next year.
But look, I remember those days when I was younger too, but the game is changed when it's real money and, real bets and real transparency. And sometimes it's embarrassing and makes you feel bad, and other times makes you feel good, like with Lakers first quarter, first half. I think we should direct all our focus here now on the basketball game. We've talked a lot of strategy, and every time I start getting confident in LSU, and I'm very comfortable with just $50 on the LSU plus 4.5, but every time I start getting a little more confident, the confidence kind of wanes. Iowa State's in this game.
Hell yeah, they are. They just he just got fouled shooting a 3. It was a pretty good contest of that corner 3. And, he did, well, good for him. He just made all 3 buckets, but hell yeah, they're in it. They're in this thing. Oh, I like this full court press. I like this 2-1. Oh, they broke it pretty easy. They broke that press pretty easily.
What are you on time?
Oh, sorry,
14
Jimmy. I'm at
It's all good.
14:43.
Okay, I'm 14:36. So I can pause.
Oh, no. You don't have to pause. We don't want to
14
keep going further back. I'm gonna jump up.
I'm 14:31 timeout. Dennis says LSU has played like crap and the game is tied. Amazing.
You'll love to see that.
Yeah,
All right,
definitely.
I'm at 14:31 now. Ball underneath the.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Oh, nice.
The ball just went in bounds. Yeah.
Oh my God! Turned it over.
So I
LSU.
think that the live over might be in play. It's
Hang
very
on, let me get
low,
you
very
that
low
right now.
total, but you know what? I'm gonna pause on that. Let me pause on that idea.
It's 113.5 right now, Jimmy, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I got the same.
Oh.
It's a big bucket from Iowa State. I think those are the two spots that interest me now. Is Iowa State and the over. But I'm gonna just kind of watch.
Oh my God! I can't tell you how many times this team's turned over the basketball. They're just walking it right into the defense. It's disgusting. I would call it. I would call a timeout on the other side of the ball. Two turnovers right in a row. My God, that is disgusting. My daughter's basketball team, they're getting talked to about that.
Your daughter plays ball?
She played this year. She's gonna play next year.
Oh wow, that's exciting.
Oh my God, 3 in a row, Jimmy. This is making me sick.
I should have just trusted myself.
Yeah, man. That was a good call by you, actually.
I didn't put the trigger on it, so talk's talk.
All right, hold tight. It is now 114.5. Would you lost a point?
I'm hesitant on the total. I would like to study pace a little more, so I'm not gonna feel like an expert on this total. But I would like to get a plus line on Iowa State, and I'd also like to pour a beverage. Can you take control for a minute?
I have control. I got.
Thank you, my man. I'll be right back. Let me give you. Oh, you don't need anything. I'll be right back.
Beat it. I got it all. LSU. So growing up, part of the reason I wanted to see this game is I'll give you 2 stories. Growing up in Vancouver, when I grew up, there wasn't a ton of basketball. We would wake up and you would get inside stuff, Ahmad Rashad, and you would get like the highlights. There'd be a couple of games on basketball a week, nothing like there is now. And then college, sometimes there'd be a college game on the Saturday. And it was Shaq's senior year, and it was they were getting ready to go to the tournament. And saw Shaq play, liked the jerseys, in spite of really vehemently not liking the Lakers. I do like the color purple. From then on, I liked Shaq and I liked LSU. I've liked LSU since. So, okay, that's a good rip. Finally, they get a steal instead of turning the ball over in a dunk. My God, have they not been taking care of the ball? So much so that on my stag, I went to New Orleans. I'm a big Seahawks fan, but I also wanted to go see LSU. LSU was playing, I think they were playing Bama. It was a massive game. And so I'm going to be able to get a chance. I got a chance to go. And there's like, I don't know, 100,000 people in that football stadium. So obviously the football game, the college football game Saturday, the NFL games on Sunday, I couldn't have asked, begged, or planned for a better stag. I was in this competition on the Thursday night, supposed to be on the plane to New Orleans from Vancouver on Friday morning. Ended up winning this competition and got so turned that I missed actually 2 flights to New Orleans. So I've got all my homies from different places that have congregated to, throw me on my ear and put me on my way into the married life, and I'm not even there. So they went to. I ended up showing up for my own stag on the Saturday night in LSU, but I missed the game, and apparently it was an incredible football game. And then, went and saw the Saints Saints the next day. The NBA stuff was my news when I was a kid, dude. Me as well. It was so crazy, and there was something about it too, like supply and demand. Having something that you're so passionate about. I loved basketball so much as a kid that there could never be enough supply to reach my demand at the time. There just couldn't. Another turnover fell at LSU. Oh my God. Why is the coach not blowing a whistle and talking? Okay, finally blowing a whistle. But yeah, there was just not enough basketball on during a week. So to have that highlight pack, and two, it was kind of tough to I don't know, every night, like 11:30, I would stay up and watch highlights. And then I'd probably try to watch Letterman. But man, every weekend, Ahmad Rashad, inside stuff, man, just the jam session at the end. It was so dope. And now you're kind of, you can watch basketball every single day, every single game. I've got the league pass, and it's the best because unfortunately I'm a Knicks fan, but I can watch a condensed version and not have to throw up on myself in bed in like half an hour. LSU plus 4.5. Oh, Dennis is going LSU 4.5. Okay, let me see what that's at. 4.5 plus 225, kind of similar to what we have it at. Plus 4.5 minus 110. Yeah, that's not a bad place to get it, actually, Dennis. Why not? I think I'm going to double down. I'm already on them at plus 4.5. Now I'm just getting better money for it. If they do not start looking after the ball, obviously it's a problem. I would love, you know what? I am curious to see how many turnovers they have because it is absolutely pathetic. I'm just going to put a couple of bucks on this. I'll put a couple of bucks on them plus 4.5.
All right, I'm back in business. Thanks for holding it down, my man.
I got you. I told them about my story of missing my stag, going to LSU, going to how I became a fan of the Tigers, and then my stag, I went to LSU and missed it. Did not. Evil Kip took over, so didn't make it on the plane. A whole bunch of homies at my stag in New Orleans, and I show up a day late.
That evil side of our character that's come out throughout our lives has made us smarter, and it has also, everybody who's watching, they know that that's inside them.
Hang on, I'm going to show you why though. Hold me down for 2 seconds. I'm going to show you why I missed my stag. Just hold tight, real quick.
I got this, man. All right. Okay, so we have Dennis Garcia and Kip both moving on LSU plus 4.5. Honestly, I don't know if I want to add to it right now, personally. My family is back. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yo, Jimmy.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, look, man, I know that. Look, I know the story of Hundo K, man.
So I had this, walking around the club until they wouldn't serve me any drinks anymore, and then getting home and having another drink.
Oh man, that was in the papers. That was back in the day when you used to read newspapers.
Yes. Yeah. So won that, and man, I didn't make it to my stag. Didn't make it to my stag. Well, I mean, I went and saw I got to see the Seahawks and the Saints, and I'll tell you this, man, like that's a great city. I don't know if you've ever been to New Orleans. You've ever been there before?
I've been there once. But it was not this. It was tough kind of circumstances. I had put my best friend in palliative, and
oh man,
yeah, it was it was a trip I was going to take with my dad.
Yeah,
and it was we were leaving on Friday morning, and Thursday night we put my best friend in palliative care, so he was going to die over the weekend.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, I know he was like, he's just riddled with tumors and cancer, and I know he would want me to spend the weekend with my dad. I mean, I don't know. I'm certain. Actually, I shouldn't say I don't know. I'm certain that he was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'd just been sitting here with him. He was given 6 months to live, and he almost made it 3 years. And
Jesus, good.
I was the best man at his wedding. He goes to write for this hour is 22 minutes. He calls me 4 months later saying, I've got 6 months to live. And then I moved to Toronto because of it. Because I was like, you know what? I'm struggling. This is like 07. In 06, I made 10% of what I made in 05. I shot one movie, Decoys 3.
Right.
Rebirth. Decoys Rebirth. Actually, it might have been Decoys 2. I think it was Decoys 2. Decoys 2 Rebirth. Like, it was just like, I was struggling, and I was like, you know what? Sorry, some real life, real drama there. But, I spent all this time with him, and then here he was just about to die. So we put him palliative, and it was Game 7 of the Lakers-Celtics.
Yep.
And it took us a while to get him in and get him comfortable, and who cares? The game was going on, and who cares about the game? And then he was in, and he was like, okay, and he's comfortable. He's just gonna sleep. There wasn't much going on other than sleeping at that point. So we went to the bar to watch the game, and we were heavy with emotion, like so heavy, just like this huge weight on our shoulders. So I went Hempstead, Bobby Pantload, and myself. We go to the bar, and then we bring some girls because you can't just deal with that shit on your own. You need some girls to be like, whatever. And so we get there, and there's 10 minutes left in the game. I put on a Paul Pierce jersey. I put it in my backpack, so I throw it on. Lakers are about to win the NBA championship. It's like 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left, and this bar's packed. And there's like these G's in this table in front of us. The guy's got the chains around him, and he's got a Kobe jersey on. And he's a big guy, and he gets up. Table's like 15, 20 good dudes, some girls. And he gets up, and he starts slow clapping. And my boy, Bobby Panload, while he's slow clapping, goes, "Nice tits, Kobe." And all hell broke loose.
Really?
Yeah, like he, in front of all his boys, he like basically broke a table trying to get to us. He got to Rob, sort of, ripped his shirt off completely, like half off, but didn't quite get him. The girls were like, "Yeah, their best friend their best friend dying. And so he's, whatever." And like, we didn't get our asses kicked, thankfully.
But you got into it in New Orleans.
But then I went and met my dad in New Orleans. I went and met my dad. I was like, "What? Erwin's not going to want me to sit here beside him. I'm going to hold his hand through death."
How did Erwin get from Manitoba to New Orleans? Out of curiosity.
Oh, Erwin never got to New Orleans. I went to New Orleans.
When you said it, I thought that you would put him in palliative in New Orleans.
No, that was in Toronto.
My bad.
And then I took off with my dad. My dad wanted to do this father-son trip. We're trying to rebuild our friendship, basically. And so like I thought
Erwin, by the way, if you guys don't know, an incredible comedian, super duper funny. I only saw him. I saw him a couple of times. I saw him at the Well, and I saw him at Yucks. And I think he actually threw some dick at my mom one night. So bless his heart. I think before he was married, I think he hit on my mom.
And God, like succeeded?
No. He threw some dick. I didn't say that he caught anything.
Okay.
Right. But I would have been. He could have been dad. He could have been new dad.
You know what?
Okay with that.
When we first started hanging out, I was like 2021. All my friends were in UVic at the time. Our friends were all UVic, right? You still run with a bunch of these guys. They all went to UVic. We went over there on a show, and we stayed at Johnny Green's place. Johnny and Chris Green, Ellis. I forget the fourth room. They had 4 roommates there. We had a huge grow up in there. Huge grow up. You'd open the door, you'd just be like punched in the face with ganja. And there's Erwin, in a suit. I remember we were in a nightclub, and Ellis, Erwin's like looking at Ellis' girlfriend, but it's not like, he's just like looking at the dance floor. And I was like, You looking at my girl? And he's like, well, yeah. And it just crushed. Ellis just started laughing so hard. But that night, that whole weekend, here's this like headliner, in a suit hanging with these 20-year-olds. And in that first trip, I remember thinking like, man, it'd be good if he took care of my mom too, Like, I get it. I get it. All right, this is okay. Let's get back to work. Let's get back to work here. But I'm not comfortable in this game.
Yo, I just lost that game.
It just ended?
No. As in, like, my feed's gone somewhere else. I've got Houston now.
Okay, no, just flip the channel. Get to the other TSNs there.
You got it?
Yeah, it's right there. Just go. There's 2 TSNs rolling right now. Okay, it's 44-37. We got 8:57 left. There's 2 TSNs going right now. You'll catch it.
Shit, I'm blacked out.
On the other TSN?
No, I'm good. I'm alive,
Yeah,
Jimmy. 44-37. I'm alive.
Yeah.
Oh, he just shoots a 3. Oh, he did the walk-off.
I should have moved on.
I doubled down on plus 4.5. As I said, I looked into the turnovers. They were at 15, which is disgusting, shocking. And the other thing is, I saw that stat, and it should have. Both of these teams turn it over. I just thought that LSU getting the steals and their numbers for rebounding was so much stronger that made me like them. I fell in love with that, which is stupid.
We have a real one. Oh, by the way, I shouldn't laugh, but Tuchman just lost his action on the Flyers against Ottawa. So
no,
I just don't know why he would do that. Like, why? Don't put yourself in a situation. Sometimes it's not about winning or losing. Sometimes
it's staying away, bro. You said it today. You were saying it. You said it today, and I wanted to congratulate you because one of the things, even at the poker table, if you can lay down a hand, that takes some discipline and some it takes some nuts to be able to walk away and being like, you know what? I've got pocket kings, but now there's a flush on the board or there's a straight on the board, and I got to put these kings away because I just don't. Now mathematically, he's got a better chance than I do. And sometimes laying that down. Some of the coldest times that I felt at a table is when I've had, when people have laid down and they've showed me what they've laid down, when they've been like, yo, just, I don't know what you have. I don't care. But just to let you know, I'm walking away from this. And you've set traps and them getting out of those traps. And if they did, it's an incredible move. It's an incredible feat. It's an accomplishment, not just to have to go in on everything. It was the same thing that you did at the beginning of this game. You're like, I don't really have a feel for it at the moment.
I think I'm taking it to a bit of a different angle, but don't let a sport beat you. Don't give it the opportunity to beat you.
But it was also a
great
team, right?
Capper.
Like
he's a great NHL capper. His living is based on him succeeding in NHL capping.
Yeah.
But he opened up an opportunity where the sport could beat him. And that was a mistake because the sport is much more powerful than you. And just don't give it the opportunity. For those of you watching, we should give it more background. Tuch in first place makes a huge bet on the Senators 3 weeks ago. And that spot, I remember saying that I wanted to bet it too, but I didn't. Then, or maybe that was the one I did. One of these I was with him. Maybe that was the one I was with him. Then last Friday, he took the Senators again. You know what? Let me legitimize this all by just talking about exactly the situations that happened here.
Hang on 1 second, Jimmy. We have an absolute monster from Bridget Case. An absolute monster.
Jesus. Okay. What's going on?
She's got $500 on the under at 114.5.
Holy shit. When did she send this?
I've got my phone on silent as we're talking. She sent it
Okay.
at 6:20.
25 minutes ago?
Sorry, brother.
Oh no, it's all good. Don't worry. There's obviously these things are gonna happen. Where live betting, you had to take control of there's no issue there. But
$500.
on the under 114.5.
I'm sending it to you. It's weird. It's a blurry ass picture.
Fuck, I think I think there's a ton of danger in here if it gets too close with fouling.
Yo, there is danger, but wow.
She's panicking up front. She's panicking.
That is a panicky move, but that could wrestle things back from Tiff and put her on top.
There's our guy Jeff Clement saying, "Looking good, boys. Love partying at the Queens of Victoria. Many late nights there." Oh man, it's great to see you, Jeff, my man. Thank you for joining us. $500 bet.
$500, bro. $500.
Wow. I think look, she's showing that she's a talented NFL capper. She didn't succeed in NFL, but you could tell that she knows the sport well. And then talented college basketball capper, and she's had some big cashes here.
Oh my God,
stuff,
another turnover for LSU. It makes me sick to my stomach. That's just like, and they're a defensive team. Look, what's the first thing you got to do? Look after the basketball. This is some elementary pedestrian bullshit. This is making my blood boil. It's one thing for another team to hit shot. Oh my God. There's a +4.5. There's a +4. My God. 7 minutes to figure it out. That's what I got right now. Jimmy, what's your timestamp at right now?
I'm at 7:04, 7:03, 7:02.
All right, I'm like 14 seconds ahead of you.
So, okay. Let's see if we can tighten it up. By the way, if you're looking at more action here, I'm quite confidently on the under 6.5 in the Avalanche San Jose Sharks game. That's a big 3. That's a big 3 for you, man. That's a big 3. I'm quite confidently on the under 6.5 in the Sharks Avalanche game. The Sharks got shut out last night in LA. They had beat them twice the week prior. And maybe they're an angry group. Hopefully they're an angry group because I want the I want the Avalanche to be tested a little bit for the under to cash. But Kemper has a 2-game shutout streak going on. And they're talking about that in the dressing room as we speak. They're talking about keeping his shutout streak clean and strong. And if the Avalanche get a lead, they've just been shutting the door over the last week or so, at least since Landeskog got hurt. So just a heads up, I'm on that.
Do you follow Spit and Chicklets? Do you follow Biz?
I don't follow. I don't really follow much. Just my hours are pretty insane right now.
Got you.
I really just, but I know about, I definitely respect what's going on over there.
He was saying some shit about McKinnon, and I couldn't call it if he was being funny or because he was on some like call you out in the parking lot kind of talk.
What?
So
what was he saying? I missed this.
It was something to the effect that he was leaving the game and he kind of like didn't give the finger, but made like a disrespectful gesture in the way of where his aunt was sitting. And it was as if like the tickets were there and Biz made it sound like he knew that his aunt was there and maybe there was something pre-existing. That's why it was either like so inside that I couldn't catch it, or it was like, I don't know. It was one of those really weird things. I hadn't heard somebody speak about a person like in the NHL, like calling them out, being, I will, if I see you, it's like a fight on sight. So I was just wondering if you knew had anything. It came up in my feed the other day, and I was like, that's strange.
No,
actually, me and Clements met Biz a couple years ago.
What was he like?
Fucking bro. He was like you'd think. He was really cool. He's good people.
I believe it. I'm in this funny spot right now where I'm up like I'm up real nice, and I think I just want to sit back and then hammer Sam Houston all night. You know?
Yeah, I love that. I mean, if you see value, then you got to fire. But
Well, I'm gonna lose. It looks like I'm gonna lose the Jets bet, but
why wouldn't he step in? Oh, that's good defense. That looks like
I'd be
pretty good
very
defense.
interested. I could, so I think that we should remember this for next year, though. It should just be an NCAA live show, and we should just have all the games up for grabs.
Hang on, I'm actually going to take that a little bit further. It's a day. It's 3 games, and we give. It's a day of bets, Jimmy. We give what happened.
Do you see what's happening in the Raptors Lakers game?
Nah, bro, I'm on this LSU game. What up?
Oh my, but woo.
What happened?
Raptors by 3 with the ball with 10 seconds left. Westbrook steals the ball, hits a 3 to tie the game. Russell Westbrook.
That's insane. Okay, listen,
Holy
Jimmy.
shit.
3 games.
Yeah.
The bettors come in with the same money, and it's who can make the most live in game. Who can do the ball over 3 games? It's an afternoon. Everybody's got like $1,000 or $500. Everybody comes to the table, and we see who does the best live. Everything is live, and it's just 1 game.
I like it a lot.
One day.
I like it a lot. I think that our the gambling situation is sort of banal. I'm going to live bet LSU right now plus 4.5 again.
I'm already in it twice. I'm in it 2 times, so
I'm only in it once. Come on, clear. I'm in it twice now. I think LSU is a better team. I don't know if they're going to win this basketball game. So I've got it twice. I got it twice. I got it like when did I bet it? They're not giving me a time. Oh yeah, I bet it with. Sorry, Carter's pissed off. I bought it with 4 minutes and 37 seconds left in this. Oh no, that's the one Oh no, they're just telling me Sorry, my bad. I'm tripping. It's not telling me when I bet it. I don't know why, but now I have it twice. Why wouldn't they tell me?
Hang on one second. Dennis says if you guys do this on football season, it would be wild too. That's definitely the plan. We're definitely going to get to the football season, and honestly, the initial concept was totally based in and around football, and we've had some fun kind of pivoting and trying to make a go of it for 365.
I don't we're all the show's always going to be about strategy and how to be a better gambler, and I'm learning with you. I really think that if we're talking about a sport where the books make 90%, shit, that was close. Where the books make 90% of their money, and that's NFL, then we should be weary of that sport. Now, obviously, we'll focus on it for contest reasons, but for us as gamblers, there are professional gamblers that I know. Oh, fuck, stop.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Out of bounds? Is he out of bounds? No? Okay. There are professional gamblers I know that just stay away from NFL because they know how much money the books are making.
Wow.
They're making all their money off of NFL. Now they're making all their money off of public, and this could be broken down in many different ways. And there are angles in NFL. There are angles in every sport. But I think that's an important note for all of us trying to succeed at this day by day, is that if the book is making all their money on that sport, why would we want to put a high percentage of our money on it? You know?
Well, here's what I wonder. I know a lot of people that only bet on the NFL.
Well, because
they don't really bet on anything else.
But they're not trying to. They're not trying to. I guess I don't know how to phrase this perfectly, but they're not trying to gamble for a living.
Which is exactly my point.
Yeah.
So the books are making all of this money because there's a lot of punters that come in that don't really do this for a living, that maybe aren't even like, they don't understand, they don't care. They're going for 3 game, 4 game, player props, and like things that
win this game.
Things that are different. Like there's a massive difference between people who do this for a living and people who do this for fun. And I think there's some people that only do this for fun during the NFL, and they don't look at the other sports, and they certainly don't look at this as like their bottom line. It's like, okay, I've got $1,000 that I'm going to spend.
Sorry, keep going on this, but I just want everyone to know I just put $50 on LSU plus 265.
Straight?
Yeah, straight. $50 on LSU to win this game outright. Returns 182.50. So, sorry, I just keep going. I think LSU is going to win this game. I think they're the better team, and I didn't mean to interrupt. So
No, that was good. I just looked at my my account as a completely even number, which is weird. I just looked at my account. I'm like, I didn't deposit anything. It's just always strange. You know, you're usually like a couple of cents or a couple of this and that, but the under 60 and Illinois winning put my betting account at a completely even number, which will not be for very long. I don't know. You want LSU straight?
No, but go back to where you were going, because I think I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted everyone to know.
Basically, my whole point is that there's more like speculative action, I feel, that comes in on NFL with people that are like in it really recreationally. As I said, I've got a lot of friends that don't really know too much about betting or gambling, and they don't rely on it as something. It's something that's just like beers, or you know, it might accentuate the game, but they're not really going in there to make or break. Like, they're not probably betting things that are under like plus 450. You know what I mean? Like, they're going in looking for scores and are just Muppets that are helping the book make money, because they're not playing it. It's just like, you know, the dealer's got a 10 and they've got a 4. Hit me. You know, they're not necessarily thinking about the semantics strategically about what the implications are of every bet that they're doing. They're just like, I just want to have fun.
Yeah. And look, when I say look, it makes every time I say look, it reminds me of Erwin Barker's bit about how he went to his friend's wedding. It was his 4th wedding, and they wrote their own vows. You could tell they wrote their own vows because his friend started with look. So look, I'm not. I don't gamble for a living, and I want to. I create gambling content for a living. And I want everything to be transparent with what we do. And there are many of my colleagues that don't gamble for a living. They sell picks for a living. They don't make that transparent. And that's their own business. And you can do what you want. But I want to have my unit size high enough so that I can gamble for a living. Can I show Carter quick? Can I see him? Can I think. Oh, okay. Yes, I can. Okay. I'm going to mute for a second here.
LSU down 5. Jimmy's just got them now winning at plus 265. I wasn't bold enough to get them winning. I already had them winning. I mean, I could double down, but I've got them in 2 spots at 4 plus 4.5. So I got them at, let me just see if I can get my bets up. Live in game. Just a second. Unsettled. I got them earlier at plus 225, and then I've got plus 4.5 for minus 110, and that's it. With my betting account, there's a very sore spot with my live bets. Unfortunately, at the beginning of the season, being a Knicks fan, I bet like an absolute Muppet and homer. I bet Derrick Rose as 6th man of the year because I thought that Kemba was going to be starting, and I put money on Kemba most improved player. I can't even cash out, so I don't have to look at those bets anymore. Like, I wish I did, but every time I'm in my live in-game bets, I'm forced to look at those 2 heinous picks. So it drives me absolutely mental. Fadeaway J is short, gets a foul. That's a soft-ass foul. I think we're probably a little bit behind you guys. Oh, Mr. Carter. Hey, Carter. Hi, buddy. Hey, Carter, I got matching haircut. Look at that. I got the matching haircut, buddy. Hi-oh.
Yeah. Very serious guy. Named after Vince and Joe.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Bye-bye.
We're going to get that cash.
Gonna get that paper, young Carter. Zip it, it's your birthday.
You're going to know all about getting that cash, man. Yeah. I get it. Okay. Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, we're
That's
going to
right,
get that
Carter.
cash. We're going to fire away. I love you, big guy. I know.
Oh my gosh. So cute, Jimmy. Holy smokes.
It's inspiring and fun, and like, you know, I love it.
Come on, it's the best. And LSU is 4 right now. We've got the plus 4.5. Come on. And the ball. Jimmy, they could win it. But yeah, that little man is adorable. How old is he, Jimmy?
He's 13 months, 14 or 13 months.
Fool's already
Well, I
giving
know
out
his
high
age.
fives.
Say what?
And he's walking?
Oh yeah, walking and pointing and everything and slapping face, slapping ass.
Yes, Carter.
Is that a turnover?
I don't think so, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I want to punch this Iowa State coach in the face. Let me see what the call is. It's a travel, yeah. Or is it a foul? Shit, it looked like he picked up his pivot. Mwani.
Yeah, he's a big.
Mwani.
I think he just looks big on camera. I don't think. Oh, it was a foul. Okay, good. Okay, I got a big juicy plus 265 now hanging in the balance, and two. So now I got 150 live on this now. $3 $50 bets, 250 at plus 4.5, 150 at plus 265.
Okay,
now
and we got
talking,
a
Kip.
point game and a press.
Now we're talking, Kip.
1, and they've broken the press. Oh, wait a second. This is how much time? Oh,
I think you're ahead of me.
they broke the press
231,
easily.
230, 229, 228.
220. Okay, hold tight. I'm ahead of you again.
Oh, geez.
How do I drift ahead of you, though?
My ice just popped, man. Things are getting exciting.
Oh, my God. Wow. Big rebound, son. Oh, I love when the ice pops.
Let's go! How much money we going to make tonight? Let's make a K. Everybody saw me make 2K on Wednesday. And look, to some gamblers, 2K is not a lot of money. But 2K to me means a whole hell of a lot.
Yo.
Let's get that papier.
Come
on, Darius, my boy. Take us home, Darius.
Oh. Mom's is not impressed.
That was not close. No, his mom's pissed.
Mom's not
pissed.
impressed.
Man. God.
That's a sharp-looking jersey. I feel it.
Can we get a clip of Steph Curry's mom from the Davidson days?
Oh, God, yes. No longer with Dell.
No, yeah. Well, I got to edit myself. 5 seconds. Oh,
there we go. There we go.
How far are you ahead of me?
Oh, my God. That's good defense, though. Look at this. Look at this press.
Look,
what are you talking about? Did he call a timeout, Jimmy? That wasn't a foul. Oh, this defense has finally come out. 101 points. What does Bridge have this thing at again?
Oh, fuck. I don't. Sorry, I'm only thinking about myself. Edit myself. $500 at the under what? 114.5.
Hang on, I'm gonna bring it up again because that's massive.
Sorry, my bad. We need to go over this. Oh no, Raptors lost, Dennis.
114 and a half.
114.5. The fear is this. She's clearly on the right side of the total, but the last 2 minutes in college basketball or in any basketball game can become very dangerous because if it's tight game, because the fouls start
tap.
But also then overtime becomes that creepy uncle in the corner, like,
just sizing them up.
Okay, I hate that the Raptors lost, but look, I cashed Lakers first quarter, first half.
Bro, the emotional hedge. It's a beautiful thing. I know you
It
didn't do
was
an
not-
emotional hedge. I know that you actually had science behind it.
Oh,
And
for sure, it's no thing, and I just want everybody to remember it forever and make money off of it. And it's a little different in baseball. Let's talk about it in a second here. 154, 153.
okay, I'm still a little bit ahead of you.
147,
Oh
146.
my God. Oh
He
my
can't hit
God,
this.
Jimmy. He just hit a monster, and LSU can't.
Jeez,
That was.
he's a tough hombre. That was a nice shot.
That's still my favorite celebration in all of sports is still the Ape Nut celebration. Sam Cassell, LeBron, everybody's done it, and now you just get fined. You know, like
Yeah.
from
Oh,
from
and
Major
one.
League. Remember he did this with his nuts.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. Like I just love it.
Yeah. I don't know. I wish my nuts were bigger.
I don't know. I think maybe just like you don't want them. You just want like massive nuts and then a tiny noodle. I don't know if that's the flex.
I'm just talking about the balls. I just want big old balls banging around like a Mexican street dog, you know? I'm a little nervous here. Darius doesn't hit all his fucking foul shots.
Oh my God.
Oh God, Darius. He's so bad on the line.
Well, then I won't even show his mom's now. Damn.
You know what? Let's go back to his mom. I'd prefer to see his mom than Darius. If you don't hit this foul shot, oh, there's okay. You know what? Go back to Darius. My bad. Okay, Darius, hit this shit. Come on, it's a very high pressure situation. Let's be a man.
Oh no! Get that rebound at least. That's LSU.
It's our ball. It's our ball.
That's LSU ball.
God, Darius. Fuck Darius. And you get Shaq's son just sitting there in a fucking cool outfit. That's gotta hurt.
You can't, but I mean, you're gonna lose a game on turnovers and free throws. Like that's the DNA. Get the ball in.
Look, we watched Kentucky go 1-6 in overtime last night.
Oh my God, that's a tough bucket.
How's that not
That's
a
a
foul?
tough bucket, Jimmy.
How's not that an N1?
That's a tough ass bucket.
How is that not an N1?
Oh, I like the threat. I like him threatening. I like the second defender threatening number one, coming over like that. Oh. He's on the line. Now this kid's gonna make his shots.
I'm very uncomfortable. I'm not comfortable. I'm very comfortable with the two $50 bets at plus 4.5, but even though they could both lose, these could all lose and we'd be fine. Oh, good God. How do we go to horses after this, Dennis? I haven't done the proper work.
Mike M, let's get this OT and cover the original. Oh man, I thought that was coming out, Jimmy.
Lucky bounce, but if it goes to this, then you deserve to lose.
Well, they turned the ball over more.
There was a huge advantage in the Illinois game once the Chattanooga big, I don't have his name off the top of my head, was fouled out. There's no advantage here.
Nope.
Iowa State and LSU, there's a lot of parity here. And
oh, nice pass. Oh my God, why aren't you going up? Oh God.
It was a great pass.
8 more turnovers than Iowa State. All right. So they've got 18 total. They've got 8 more, and they were known as a team that forced more turnovers, and they just gave them over. Man. Oh, that was a good second effort in the air. Nice, really nice control. Really nice control in the air. Man, we got ourselves another good game.
By the way, Winnipeg has tied up the game 2-2 in Boston.
Who do you
it's
have?
A big deal for me, man. These are my. They're not big board bets, but these are my. I did cut 25% off, so I'm at 150 a pop in NHL. But I only have
Jon
2 bets
Orlando
in NHL tonight.
Is looking to come by.
Say what?
Jon Orlando's looking to come by. I'm just trying to get him this link.
Tell him to jump in immediately, man. We're lacking time, man.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find.
Jeez.
a link. I know that they were sent out, but
Those I sent it to that email. But those LSU cheerleaders, they tell zero jokes. By the way, very serious group of women. Extremely serious.
wait a second. I'm just going to send this to myself. Send it over to Johnny. See if he's going to come through.
Tell him to start capping that Sam Houston card. Come on. Let's show some D in this. Yeah, right. Take your fucking time, man. Come on. They're not well, they're a good basketball team. Come on. They're in the perimeter with 8, 7, 6. Come on. Keep them on the perimeter. Make them shoot
Come on. Here's a pull up. That's deep. Oh my God.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
bro.
well, then you lose, right? Then you just lose.
Well, it's 5. We need something. Oh, that looked like he traveled anyways.
Jesus, what a shot he just took.
113. What's Bridge again?
Well, Bridge about to lose. Bridge panicky. I do not like Bridget's action.
We got Johnny in the house.
Because LSU is going to shoot right away, and then, yeah, let's get Johnny up in here, man. See what Johnny's up to. Let me just switch this to Johnny. Johnny, can you switch your camera? So what can you? There we go, Johnny. What's happening, my man?
Johnny Orlando, what's happening, brother?
Well, that worked.
Yeah, your money.
Is it over? Is this stupid game over?
There is 16.3 seconds and 5 points between them. LSU has the ball. They're down by 5, and the kid from Iowa State just hit from, 5 feet behind 3
Huge
with
dagger.
like time running out. They just hit 2 massive threes to kind of looking like to ice this game.
I'm going to come clean, okay?
Sure.
Are we allowed to have consult with other people with these picks? Is that in the violation? We're allowed to consult with people.
Of course.
All right. So Adam Lieberman, my co-host on Action Junkies, he's an all-around sports guy, but he pays attention to the basketball crap. So that's where I get my basketball picks from, and he's been pretty good, as we've seen, right? It's kept me in it. So today I'm like, I need a pick, LSU game. He's like, LSU Moneyline. And then I look at it and the odds, I didn't lie. I'm like, how about LSU -4? Does that bug you? He's like, no, I like it. I'm like, okay. Then for the end game, he tells me LSU margin. Go big. That's what he tells me. Go big. I swear this morning when he goes LSU, I literally thought he's so due to lose with the basketball. I should just take the other team money line and just go for it. And of course I didn't. And here I am with buyer's remorse. I've got remorse.
Oh my God. Bridget's going to win this bet.
She is, and I lost all of those $150.
Yeah, we both, Jimmy and I just lost a fortune, and Bridget put $500 on an in-game under. So the biggest bet that is hit is now what she just put down.
God, I was up so much money.
She just hit a massive bet, and Jimmy and I just literally that three just killed a bunch of our action. And so
this is so depressing.
And Tiff actually had herself a good week.
Yeah, the women are stomping on you guys, man.
Oh my God. It's terrible. This is terrible. It's okay though. Because I'm coming back. After tomorrow's UFC fights, I'm back in this thing.
Yeah, you're the only Johnny's the only guy who has a chance at this point to attack the women.
Because I swung for the fences.
I don't like you swinging for the fences, but I respect your skill in UFC. So.
Yeah, that's a lock. Those UFC bets are a lock.
That's a word we don't use.
Cut this clip right now and air this clip on next week's show because you're going to need it.
I love
all
it.
My UFC bets are solid.
I love that Patty the Batty kid. I love that kid. That Scouser.
He's awesome.
He's
like
so dope. And he's so good for the sport. And he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. Yeah. Oh, man, I hate basketball. I hate losing these stupid basketball bets. I hate that I get forced into these basketball bets. So irritating.
I just threw all of my winnings. We did some great live bet winnings, and I just threw it all in the garbage.
With the live bet, here's the thing. I was leaving
we just lost you, Johnny.
Hey, Jimmy or Johnny, we can't hear you.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're back. You're back.
Okay. That was Adam Lieberman trying to call me to express his sorrow. He got sent a voicemail. No, what I was going to say is you will need this clip for next week. 100%. 100%. UFC's coming back. I'm coming back with UFC. But I left $100. I left $100 for a reason. I did all my bets minus $100 because, as I said before, day one, I could get down to 100 and still win this thing. And I was like, I like that storyline. And then with the in-game bet, Adam was like, go big, go big. So I was like, screw it, 100. So I'm actually at risk of having $20 left if everything loses.
Which is 80 less than your 100 that you needed to make the comeback.
And I could still do it.
No, we need you to. We need you to, John.
$20 10-teamer season 1 epic. Oh, wait, no, it can't even be that because I'll have to bet 4 bets,
why don't you just stick 2 fighters together? You know the sport so well.
You can't make enough money.
No, but the players you're playing against don't have the skill set. So why don't you just try to win week by week?
Well, that's like saying to the lion, why not just kill a bunny? Why do you got to go jump on a giraffe's back and take it down and go through all that? Just kill a bunch of little bunnies and they add up to a big meal. No.
I don't know about that, man. Somebody sent me a picture today of a golden retriever 6 inches deep on a lion. It's all about winning.
Wait, what?
No, I was sent a picture of a golden retriever 6 inches deep on a lion. Lion just sitting back. I don't know. The idea is just to continually win, and we know you have a skill set in UFC. So why do the 5-teamers? I don't agree with the idea. I think that if you have a skill set,
well, here's why. If you didn't force me into these nonsense basketball bets and nonsense football bets, then yes, I would do that with those 2 bets. But you're killing me with these other nonsense bets with the in-game.
We know that's not the case, John. John, you have to make 1 mandatory bet and then 1 live bet. You can do all the rest of your bets on UFC. Yeah.
That 1 live bet, the 1 mandatory bet, the mandatory bet screws me up. How come we don't make the UFC the mandatory bet? I'll tell you why. Because they understand the powers that be. They know. Whoever they are in this case, you two, it's the powers that be know. It's too easy.
Well, listen,
for me
we did do you a disservice. We said that we were going to get you a UFC card, and we did do you a disservice. So
it was my fault. That big March 5th fight, I was doing a huge horse card, and so it's my fault. But John, I still believe you. Well, actually, let me take that back. I'm not sure if I believe, but you're the only one that has a chance,
right,
to compete with the women, and you have to do it tomorrow, or it's not happening, or it's just game over.
It's happening tomorrow. Don't worry, it's happening tomorrow. Okay. It's happening. Okay. It's all good. Those other 2 clowns have no chance. No, I'm the only one. I'm the one.
You are.
Hey kids, hey Jimmy and Johnny, I gotta get to the club. I'm working tonight.
We gotta shut down.
But John, you're the man. I truly need you to win because his horse has it. I've got you still to win this entire thing. So tomorrow night, if you got to break a fighter's leg to make this thing come in for you, do whatever the hell you have to do. It's for us, brother. It's for us.
I'm sliding in all the DMs tomorrow morning with votes of confidence to all those fighters. I'm DMing all of them, every single one. I don't know any of them, but I'm still DMing them.
You
Okay?
should.
You
Don't
is
worry,
my
we
man.
got this.
Get up in
We
there.
got this.
All right. I'm out here.
All
I'll
right.
talk to you guys later.
Okay, we are all
Peace out.
out of here.
Oh, we're all out.
On behalf
We're
of
out.
Best Better, thank you guys so much for supporting us. Johnny, thank you for joining us. We're very excited to watch your action tomorrow. And on behalf of Kiprios and myself and everybody on Best Better, let's get that cash.
Get
Bridget's
that
just gonna win
cash.
this motherfucker? Bridget's just going to win this motherfucker? We going to let this
No.
happen?
Nope.
All right.
Not
Let's
happening.
eat.
See ya.
Much love, Johnny, and all you guys. Best Better.